Hey, welcome to Main Pod Girl, a podcast made by Popheads for Popheads. Every episode, we'll be diving into all kinds of pop culture topics with some of our favorite artists and music commentators. I'm your host, AJ Marks. Today's episode is going to be another career timeline of a pop star, and this time we're covering the queen herself, Beyoncé. I've always kind of known that I'd be making this episode one day, but it's been like kind of daunting to think about because of just how extensive her discography is. And even though this episode will be like, I'm sure over 2 hours long, there's still so much that like we just like simply can't cover in that time. But like just because we can't cover literally everything doesn't mean we can't have like a fun conversation about one of the most important and prolific women in pop music, not just today, but like literally of all time. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back here. I've assembled an insane lineup of guests from the Hive. So firstly, we have pop culture YouTuber Mila Tequila, who anyone familiar with this show will probably know from our timeline episodes on Gaga, Katie, and Miley. Please check those out if you haven't already. And then we have another pop culture YouTuber with over 300,000 subscribers to his channel, and he makes his first appearance on Main Pod Girl. It's Rumi, aka imuRgency. And finally, returning to the podcast is someone who I just like can't picture doing this episode without. Not only is she one of my favorite artists and voted Popheads' Best New Artist of 2025, shout out to Popheads Music Awards, but she's also a musical daughter of Beyoncé. So I feel like we're like really lucky to have her here. It's Jay Stevens. So how this is going to be structured is we're breaking it down into 6 eras of Beyoncé, and each era is going to have like several albums attached to it. And then we're going to talk about kind of like how Beyoncé was perceived at the time, what our relationship with the music was at the time that it was coming out, maybe our favorite moments from the era, and then we'll wrap up each era by listing our favorite songs all the way up to this mysterious Act 3.
And Jay, if you're on Act 3, you can't tell us.
I wish I had something to tell you. I wish I did.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, the people she brings on for these projects, I'm like, she has taste.
Bring them on, and she brings them on a little last minute, too, so you never know. You might be on it. You just don't know yet.
I need to, like, shoot my shot on Twitter. Like, Buckle Bunny Girl.
Tanner Adele.
Tia?
Yes, Tanner Adele.
Blackbird.
Tanner Adele, yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, she did it. Like, I don't know. Maybe I need to do that, too.
I know. Well, when I saw her
I'll
on the
also
thing,
do
I
it
was
for
like,
you.
oh, my friend wrote for her. Like, that's how I knew her music.
Yeah, I knew
like,
her before that as well.
And I was like, so Beyonce's ear is to the ground. Because, like, Ryan
Yes.
Beatty, too, I was like, okay.
Her fingers on the pulse.
Yeah,
Her ears are to the
fingers on
streets. Her ears are to the streets.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just curious about everyone's kind of like relationship to Beyonce's music growing up. Mila, I guess we'll start with you. What was your kind of relationship with Beyonce's music?
I was born into Beyonce fandom. My mom was a Destiny's Child fan, so when Beyonce eventually went solo, it only made sense that her music be played in the house around me as a child. Obviously, I was too young to like be experiencing Dangerously in Love in that way. B-Day I remember a little bit better, but when it comes to like I Am Sasha Fierce 4, like that is serious nostalgia for me. Like the Sasha Fierce disc of I Am Sasha Fierce, very, very serious to my mom. Very, very serious to her. Like that was getting serious airplay in that vehicle.
I love that. I had a little bit of a different experience. I came in, like, I've always been like obviously aware of Beyonce. Like I've always liked several singles, like Jumpin' was like everywhere in my household, you know. I really, really liked some songs, but I don't think I ever checked out her albums and like really got into her music until Lemonade. And then I was like, okay, or maybe it was like self-titled, somewhere around there. And I was like, okay, let me backtrack, right? And so that was kind of my like, you know, entry point into like Beyonce as an artist and like really, really, really getting into her music. Rumi, I know that you have a little bit of a different experience.
Yes, I feel like my mom was a huge Beyonce stan, but she kind of gatekept her from me. No shade. Like
So rude
she was,
of her.
she was like, "Yeah, this is for me. Like I love Beyonce. Like you're too young to understand Beyonce."
Mm.
So I grew up knowing who Beyonce was and loving her music from afar. And actually, the first song of Beyonce that I fell in love with personally was Drunk in Love. And I was like 12 at the time. I had like no business getting all hot and heavy to Drunk in Love. But like, you remember when like it was going viral on Vine and everyone was like, surfboard, surfboard.
Yes.
Like, that was my shit. And then I had my reintroduction to Beyonce fully for Renaissance, of course. And I've been there ever since.
And Jay, what was your relationship?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I just remember being placed in front of Beyonce, or Beyonce being placed in front of me since I was born, almost from like a educational standpoint. I think from the moment, like, I think my parents like Beyonce, of course, like, duh, but like I wouldn't say that my parents were like Hive, you know, but like once they saw that I wanted to sing and I wanted to perform and I always wanted an audience, they were like, this is who you need to look at. If you want to do this, then you need to be like her. You need to see that she was singing and she was dancing from young. And I mean, like, yeah, they were always just like, she was the pinnacle of just like the standard of what I need to model myself after if I'm gonna try to do this. And I think, yeah, that was like them having great taste. And they knew, you know, they were right. Because I think so many years later, like, it's absolutely her. It's still her. She's like the standard for performance and, you know, just like reinvention and just being an artist and being a vocalist, being everything. So she was my crash course when I was young.
I love that. And so now let's get into kind of like when Beyonce was young, right? So we have her first kind of era, which was Girls' Time, which eventually became Destiny's Child. And she had 3 albums with them before going solo. So I kind of, with each era, I kind of want to go over like, who is Beyonce and how was she viewed in this era? She was still Beyonce Knowles at this point. I don't know, when did she officially drop the last name?
It's so funny because it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, like I kind of remember that. I was not born. Like, like, we were not born, but I feel like we were just so involved. I mean, I feel like she was always giving mononym, no? Like,
That's what I feel like maybe when she went
like
solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a name like Beyonce, you don't really need a last name.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I don't think she ever really went by Beyonce Knowles. But again, I wasn't there.
I mean, I feel like I remember her being Beyonce Knowles, but again, like you said, like I don't think I was. It must have been like when she was acting, when she was doing acting projects.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
that's
I
probably
remember.
when I was like seeing Beyonce Knowles, and that's why I was so like conscious of her last name, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like going up to a friend and being like, "Oh my God, did you hear the new Beyonce Knowles album?" Like,
Yeah, I do think maybe it was more of a Destiny's Child thing because then it's like you would know them as like Beyonce, Kelly, Michelle, but then if you were like talking more in depth, like you knew all of their last names. So maybe if you're like specifically being like Kelly Rowland, Michelle Williams, Beyonce Knowles, maybe that's when
Yeah.
it would come into play. But I feel like when I was doing research for this, I was seeing her credited on things as Beyonce Knowles, and I was like, damn. There was a time.
There was a time, yeah, and I feel like she's done a really good job at making everyone forget her.
Because now
last
she's
name.
Beyonce Knowles Carter.
I think this is really interesting because we were just talking about like essentially being indoctrinated into Beyonce's music because everyone's like, this is important. Our parents were like, this is important. Listen up. Right. And like that for her was probably like Michael Jackson. Right. Because like her father was, she was essentially like worked to the bone by her
Love.
by her dad, like put in like a life boot camp basically for Destiny's Child, just kind of like how Michael Jackson was for the Jackson 5. And so, and I always see like her reference specifically Michael for things like that. I mean, obviously we'll get into that later in the career, but
I think it's fun, like the origin story of Destiny's Child is like she went to audition for a girls group at the JCC,
Love.
And then someone approached her parents and were like, please let me put her in a for real group. And then she did. And then that's what became Girls Time. And then when their manager passed away, Matthew took over, left his job. Like, he got really, like, he was like, let's get serious, actually. Hold on.
I mean, he saw the vision. Like, he definitely saw the vision. And, like, how do I say this? I mean, the Joe Jackson of it all. I do feel like the Beyonce generation was probably the last generation that could get away with that. But I think that he just saw it in the girls, you know. Yeah. And they come from a time where, like, you couldn't just, like, roll over and, like, make a song on your laptop and have it go viral on your phone, you know. Like, if anyone was gonna do it, it was only gonna be because they were gonna put in the time and the money to do it. And he was like, shit, if Tina's gonna be working in the salon, y'all are gonna be performing in the salon. Like, it became like such a family effort, from like the hair and the outfits and, you know, that whole thing. And yeah, I think I see a lot of Michael in it, but I know that there's also a lot of Tina. I mean, sure. a lot of Tina. Tina probably, maybe in a way, was Beyonce's Beyonce. I see so much of that.
I see that too. I thought you meant her mom for a second, and then I was like, oh.
That's what I hesitated. I was like, wait. I was like,
Tina Turner.
She has two mothers named Tina, famously.
Yeah, no, I think that, like, there's something to be said about, if you're rich, it's like there's that pathway into the music industry, nepotism's another pathway. But if you don't have those things, like, a lot of people, like, it does take the whole family to kind of, like, really put that effort in to make something happen. I remember JoJo was talking about, she, like, did not come from money, and she was talking about how fortunate she was that, like, when she wanted to seriously sing and act and she was getting opportunities like that, it was the thing that gave her the career was, like, her mom deciding, yes, we'll move out to LA for you. You know what I mean? Like, moving, like, a lot of people who make it really young, like, it's because their families decided to pin the entire family dynamic around this child's career.
They invested early.
Yes.
Multiple families. The cousins are here. Like, you know, so. And I think that made it, like, more, that probably made it nicer for them, being young girls in a group, considering, like, they were related.
It's also crazy that, like, they kind of stayed in Houston also. Like, they graduated from high school after Writings on the Wall came out.
That's crazy.
So
graduated,
crazy. Like,
graduated Elsick High, class of 2000, alongside Tequila.
Whoa.
Gag.
Need that yearbook.
That is insanity. No, somebody does need to come forward with that yearbook.
So, plenty of people have it, I'm sure. They're just gatekeeping it.
I need to see the pictures.
Yeah, no, I think this is, it's really interesting with Destiny's Child because there was such a clear vision, and I heard people talk about how, like, Beyonce'd so hard that, like, and Destiny's Child was so good that, like, when they moved on, it was hard for girl groups for a while to, like, live up to that, and that was kind of why we didn't have girl groups for a while. And I don't know how true that is, or, like, what the other factors in that are, but, like, does anyone have any thoughts on, like, how Destiny's Child was basically, like, the last girl group before Fifth Harmony? I mean, they were the last girl group.
Was it like the Pussycat Dolls?
That's true, but they were the last one with, like, a number one hit.
Local group, though. Yeah, that wasn't like a local experience.
They probably were, like, the last group. I mean, they just sold a lot of different points. You know, there was they brought the drama. Okay. They had the drama. It was a bit of a revolving door for a second.
Survivor is crazy.
It inspired Survivor. We love it. And then like, they were sexy, but then they were, like, you know, cool and tough as nails and about their business and serious. They could sing. They could dance. And also they were Black women. Like, I don't know if that was something, again, I wasn't there, but yeah, I think it was like a real recipe that's kind of hard to duplicate. It is the kind of thing that is probably harder to manufacture and put together in like a casting call or a room, even though that's how they found Michelle. But still, I think its roots, with Matthew having them run on the treadmill at the tender age of 4 months, like that played a really big part into like the group that they grew into be. And that's really hard to find, especially because I do feel like at the time a lot of the band ecosystem was being cultivated by Bad Boy. And that was never gonna help. Like that was not gonna generate any real competition. I'm sorry. Like it was coming from a completely different like place of like pressure and competition rather than what a group is supposed to be about, which is like sisterhood and we love each other. And that's low-key like, yeah, why the Pussycat Dolls were maybe even different. Because if there was still an air of like a hierarchy within the group.
Yeah, two levels, Nicole and not Nicole.
Low-key, but I do wonder, like, not trying to like rewrite history because I wasn't there, but I do wonder, like, I feel like there probably was a narrative at the time where everybody felt like Beyonce was Beyonceing too much.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though about groups back then is that groups were allowed to have lead singers back then.
Yeah,
I feel like now the K-pop model has kind of like come into everything where it's like everyone should have their position and all the positions should be pretty much equal. Whereas like back then that wasn't really the standard. Like groups would have a lead singer and then everyone else would do the harmonies. And like that's just how it was. I
was gonna say that like even with that back then, I feel like even when they had like the lead singer or the Beyonce of the group, Destiny's Child was so unique because they were still able to sell that sisterhood, like Jay was saying. Like I feel like now, even though it's meant to be more egalitarian and everyone on the same footing, you still can't sell that sense of like, oh wow, they actually like each other because they don't have the dynamic.
Yeah.
True. And everyone wants to know the interpersonal drama.
Yes.
Oh my god. There definitely was like people like talking shit about it too, because when I was researching, there was a Mad TV sketch that they did that was literally like Beyonce walking in and then she sings and like they're all three, like the video split into three with each of them and she like pushes their frames out and then like walks into their frames and is like,
wait,
why would you need the other girls?
Emotion?
It was a parody.
Yes.
She's like,
oh my god, I remember that.
Yeah, she's like, why would you need these girls when you've got Beyonce? Like, and it was so people definitely were always like, she thinks she's all that, and it's like, baby, that's just called being a lead singer.
Right.
And she also is all that. That also factors into things.
And the bag of chips, and don't forget.
Speaking of drama, we should get into the survivor of it all.
I mean, from my understanding, the members were moving in and out quite a bit. And I think Beyonce said she heard someone on the radio describe the group as like an episode of Survivor, like a radio host or somebody. And he was like, you never know who's gonna get voted off next. And hello, she took it to the studio.
It makes it crazier because it was like those were people who were in the group forever. Like Latavia was in, like she and Beyonce were the first two members, and then Kelly, she brought in Kelly, like that was her friend from school, where she was like, oh, meet my friend, she also sings, and then she's like, okay, well she can join the group, and then like that's kind of how the group was built, and then they were kind of like Matthew unfairly favors Beyonce and Kelly because they're like his daughters. And then they were like, we should all leave. And they were kind of like,
who's we?
And then they said that they found out that they got kicked from the group which single from Writings on the Wall was it? There was a music video on TRL, and that's how they found out that they were kicked out of the group.
Oh, Bills.
They literally were like, there was two other girls in there lip syncing our vocals, and it was very strange.
They probably hated the Bills challenge that happened on TikTok a few years ago. They were like, shut up with this song. That's so funny. That's traumatic, but that's so funny. That's like
a little bit.
It's giving Pussycat Dolls circa today.
At least they're on good terms now, though, which is all that matters.
Yeah. I appreciate that they took it to the booth, and gave us like one of their most iconic singles, realistically.
Well, I also just love that, like, I love songs that exist within a meta narrative and also have, like, can exist independently.
Piece of me.
Piece of Me is a great example, or Gimme More, where it's like she's speaking on like the larger culture, and if you're into like what's happening at the time with Britney, you can read these lyrics differently, but also like within a song, like in an
Olivia Rodrigo's debut album.
Yeah, true. Exactly. Yeah, I love a song. It's like an art to write a song that like speaks to something that's happening in the moment, and people will like, it'll like move culture, but at the same time, it's good just as a song if you weren't there, you know?
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to be there kind of thing. So that's why I think Survivor works so well. And then also
They survived.
They did. They survived. And I think also with Beyonce, before we move on, I think something she was doing to kind of like separate herself from the group or like stand out is like she already started like acting. She was Carmen in hip opera. Has anyone watched this?
I haven't seen it in a minute.
I've seen pieces of it for my research that I was doing for the Eras video. And honestly, incredible. Honestly, incredible. I'm like, wait, why did MTV stop making operas?
I don't know. Well, they stopped doing a lot of important things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like so hard to find now. I feel like
I think I saw it on YouTube.
My memories of it are definitely like it used to play all the time at my hair salon when I was a kid. That and her in The Fighting Temptations. Yes. Just like her number
and she
two
was
roles.
before she had released any music, she was also in Austin Powers Gold Member.
Oh, mother.
Which is another incredible contribution to her filmography.
Like,
her bulletproof filmography, might I add.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How do you feel about the narrative of people saying that like it's hard to watch Beyonce act because you can't forget that she's Beyonce?
I don't think that's true.
I would say watch Obsessed.
Watch even Dreamgirls. I feel like she does.
I think Dreamgirls, she
wonderful
really
job.
proved she controlled it. And Cadillac Records, she controlled it.
I think also it's like that's like another person problem. Like sometimes it's like the problem of the viewer. Like I don't know. Like I was watching Forbidden Fruits last night, and I was like kind of, you know, going back and forth between like Lily Reinhart as Apple and like Lily Reinhart is acting, right? And then it's like that was not on her. Like she did a great job.
Like, this is Betty from Riverdale in a movie.
I was like, this is Dark Betty from Riverdale. No, literally it was giving Dark Betty. But that was more just like me like taking myself out of it to think about like the wider kind of like context of the film, because I like doing that. But like I don't think that it was like her performance. So I think a lot of people like that are really like obsessed with Beyonce, of course it would be hard to watch a movie and like forget that it's Beyonce. But I think that like, especially with the musical projects, she's playing a pop star, so it's easy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I feel like as she progresses in her career, I think a big turning point probably was I Am Sasha Fierce, when she really leaned into the alter ego of it all. You guys are not about to hear from me anymore. You're only going to see me on a stage. Like from that, which I totally respect and agree, and I get it. Like, why not? But I think from that moment on, it was kind of easier to like separate, I don't know, Beyonce from Sasha Fierce in a way, and the on stage persona, the larger than life diva. And yeah, I think personally seeing her in movies feels like an extension of that, especially in the roles we mentioned, especially I feel like have bits of her in Obsessed, Dreamgirls, and Cadillac Records. Like, I don't know, Obsessed, I feel like Beyonce can fight. Like, I feel like that was real. She was not acting. But yeah, I've never had a problem with like not being able to separate, because like,
you know what? The only time I will say is in the Lion King live action movie. Every time her voice appears, I'm like, Beyonce.
Yeah, I will say.
Maybe that's what it is. The voice might be the strongest thing that links them all
like,
together.
You rip away the visual elements of like seeing a different person, and now I'm like, Beyonce's talking through the mouth of this lion.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense, actually.
But that also feels like a Lion King specific thing. Like all the Disney remakes, or just like any because animation after the whole Robin Williams in not Robbie Williams Robin Williams in Aladdin, after that everyone was like, oh, let's just cast only like A-list
cast.
stars. Yeah,
Stunt casting an entire animated film.
I'm also obsessed with the fact that we've named every single one of her films. Like we've in the past 2 minutes.
Did we say Pink? We did say Pink Panther.
We did, yeah. Okay, well, there we go. But yeah, so I think that's more of like a Lion King thing where I feel like I haven't seen the movie, but I feel like I couldn't sit down and not be like, that's Billy Eichner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's Billy Eichner talking through this realistic Meerkats mouth.
And now for the part of the podcast where we list our favorite songs from the era.
For era 1, my top 3 are Jumpin', Jumpin', Survivor, and Say My Name. I know those are very basic picks, but they're just like absolutely classic, and I heard them.
The type of thing where they're big for a reason.
They're big for a reason, but also it's like they have like everything else I went back to as an adult. Those ones like have a lot of nostalgia tied to them for me.
Mm-hmm. I feel like for me, it's definitely like Bootylicious. I was obsessed with Bootylicious, and then like later, I was like, Stevie Nicks stole this Destiny's Child song. I was like, huh? Who is that? No, I love Bootylicious. Say My Name, like best song literally ever. And then Independent Women, all the women independent. Like
I had a
those were
hit
the
clips
anthems
of
for
that
me.
song and wore it out.
Obsessed with the concept of hit clips. Like
I was gonna say Bills, Bills, Bills.
Mm-hmm.
love.
Independent Woman, of course. And I don't know if I have a third. No shade.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
their
snap.
albums honestly are interesting because I wasn't introduced to Destiny's Child. My first conscious remembrance of Destiny's Child was Destiny's Fulfilled. That was the first album that like I received and I listened to straight through. I had to revisit the full Destiny's Child's albums older, and I do think the albums were a bit. They were cute. You know, they were young women figuring it out, you know.
Yes.
But those singles, they knew what they were doing. And then I think they really did truly lock in on Destiny's Fulfilled. I thought it was
I
over.
agree. I said that in the last episode I was on of Main Pod Girl. I actually said that Destiny Fulfilled their last and greatest album.
Yeah. They definitely ended on a high note for sure. Survivor was good too, though.
I think my favorite ones from the first era are gonna be Independent Women, obviously, because it was on my hit clip, wore it out. Those 30 seconds that I got to hear that song, trust and believe I knew all of them.
Love.
And then No, 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 classic, iconic. The remix, classic, iconic. And then I'm going to say Bugaboo, because it's so perfectly dated.
Yeah, it's very dated.
You make me want to throw my pager out the window.
Tell AOL make my email stop.
Who?
Oh my gosh.
No, it's great.
It's
so
reminding me of
good.
Kelly Rowland in the Dilemma music video where
Typing
she's
in a
typing
top.
on a spreadsheet and she's like, why
That's
can't you hear
fire.
me? Or why aren't you responding? And it's like, 'cause you're
Excel
typing
on the
an
Palm
Excel
Pilot.
spreadsheet.
I think honorable mention, has
for
to
it.
go to 8 Days of Christmas. My baby got me a belly ring. Like, what? A pair of Chloe shades and a diamond belly ring. Like, what are we talking about? It's so cunt. It's so cunt. I'm sorry.
Like, who tours a Christmas album? There was no one else doing it like that.
Matthew Knowles. Matthew Knowles is going to make you do it.
I'm surprised Kelly Clarkson or Sia haven't done that because I feel like they
Keep
would
keep Candy Cane Lane off the stages.
Listen, they need Matthew Knowles to be their manager. Then they do it.
But anyway, so moving on to her first solo era, this is like Dangerously in Love, but then also she goes back to Destiny's Child for Destiny
Love,
Fulfilled.
she loves her sister.
Yeah, she does, and then she does B-Day. So all of that in era 2.
Well, you have to think that when their hiatus was announced, it was because they were like, oh, we're all going to go work on solo music and then come back to the group stronger because of it. And then that's why they each did a different genre. And then that's also why Dangerously in Love got pushed back 3 different times because Kelly's album was doing so well because she had just been on Dilemma. So they were like, actually hold off, stand down. And then Beyonce was like, okay, I'm kind of tired of waiting. She drops that 50 Cent remix, Sexy Little Thug.
Outsold.
And they like, the label was like, okay, actually people do want to hear it. Rush it, actually. Hurry up. pull the date forward, actually.
I mean, the work it out of it all, though.
Yes. And Ode
Well-
to Bonnie and Clyde too was before the album.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's so many like false starts to like
There
when
was
people
a
are like
few
Crazy in
false
Love is her
starts.
debut. I'm like,
And she featured on 2 Missy Elliott songs too before any of that, I think.
yeah, there are like 5 debuts. She's like Kim Petras, but for singles. You know what I mean? There's like five debut singles. But yeah, I think it's also interesting that like a lot of this time is like connected to Jay-Z. Like Bonnie and Clyde is her first hit as a solo artist, right? Crazy in Love is like her proper like lead single for her first album. And then her lead single for her second album also features Jay-Z. And it does happen later, and then she makes a whole album with Jay-Z, but like I just think it's really interesting that so much of like introducing Beyonce comes with the cosign of like, and was he the biggest rapper in the world at the time? Pretty much. Like
Oh, he's up there.
I would assume so.
No.
yeah, I mean, I guess at the very specific time, maybe Eminem was like the most popular, but I think Jay-Z was probably like the biggest at the time. Well, right? He was like the most
for a certain demographic, of
Right.
course.
yeah.
Girl, I wasn't
Yeah.
there. I was not there.
Exactly. Like I'm trying to think of the charts, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that was peak Eminem, so it's like
On
worth
the
mentioning,
rap
but-
like
side,
late
I
90s.
definitely don't know.
yeah.
Jay-Z is like on the pantheon of like most famous rappers in the fucking universe. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think
Exactly.
that when he was releasing the most music, he was certainly one of the most famous rappers in the world. And that was kind of the whole thing that was going on, was that Beyonce's solo debut was so highly anticipated because she was the singer from Destiny's Child. So all the other girls from Destiny's Child are releasing music solo, and everyone's like, okay, well, where's Beyonce? Where's Beyonce? We all remember Beyonce. Where's she? And then she finally comes busting through the door with Crazy in Love. And the rest was history.
Truly, like
Something shifted.
it's like her Baby One More Time. Like it's like that echelon of debut singles where it's just like, but what's so crazy about Crazy in Love is like, even though it is so timeless and like it's hard to imagine having a better song than that. Like most Beyonce fans, like only half of them would have like Crazy in Love in their top
Yeah.
5, I think.
Well, also, when Crazy in Love was being produced, Rich Harrison prepared that song, showed it to a bunch of his friends. They were all like, literally throw that shit in the trash. Literally delete that file off your fucking computer and don't you dare show that to Beyonce. And he was like, no, but I think it'll make an impact. Like, you guys all think it's weird, so that means it'll be impactful once it's got
Yeah,
lyrics
for
over.
sure.
And he showed it to her, and she literally was like, I'm going to lunch. I'm going to come back and please have something else. And then she came back and he was like, girl, I don't know, I'm hungover. And then they made that song and it came out incredibly.
Yeah, I mean, one
like,
thing
he
about
was
Beyonce
really-
is she knows how to pick a crazy beat. child.
Okay.
Exactly.
She knows how to
Exactly. And
pick
because that's,
something
yes, it was so
crazy.
much fanfare for that time. I feel like in a post 2014 world, we're used to a lot of trumpets. But at that time, having like the sounds of a brass band behind a pop song were insane.
Yes. Yes, I think it was the blueprint for London Bridge.
Perhaps.
All of Fifth
That's
Harmony's
it.
discography.
I have to bring up Fergie in every podcast. It's like in my contract.
Well, because
so
she's listening.
it's in my social contract with Fergie, who doesn't know
Love.
this. No, but it's true. I feel like that was the lineage. Like she was kind of the first one to bring in like the Tower of Power kind of vibe in there. But also like with her peers at the time who weren't from girl groups, you have like
Ashanti.
Ashanti, the
Usher.
Ciaras, like the like
She's no Ashanti.
Brandy. Yeah. Wait, I have that literally written down. The solo Beyonce, she's no Ashanti in the New York Times. I'm like, what about Beyonce other than like the crazy talent? Like, is there anything marketing wise that kind of made her stand out more than these other girls?
I 100% think it's like the vision to think outside the box. And that's why she's like still to this day not a legacy act because she knows how to do things that are fucking kooky. Like, you know, she hears a Rich Harrison beat, but she's not scared of how fucking noisy it is, you know? And I feel like at every opportunity, she really did kind of just like defy everybody. You know, I know we haven't gotten to B-Day yet, but that was my favorite Beyonce album for a long time before Renaissance came out. It probably still is my favorite. And like that whole album was her acting out, like, and
Loud.
defying loudly, okay, decibels unhearable to the human ear. But yeah, like, she's always trying to find a way to like do what's not being done, and fill a sonic void that nobody else is doing. And I think that is what has kept her like relevant, is the fact that she pushes the needle. And yeah, I think even the way that she wrote, and the like, I feel like her presence was very felt in the studio even during the Destiny's Child era, and people like to debate how much Beyonce does on these songs and what she writes and what she does and blah 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 blah. But like, I think it's been so consistent over the years that there's just like a Beyonce essence to everything that she puts out, and it's very it always pushes the needle. I feel like in particular something that was very Destiny's Child was the way they sang in like a rapping cadence. Well, I know you know me, I can see it in your eyes. Like, nobody was doing that shit. And like, me personally, I believe that was the Houston in her. Like, I believe that pen and that kind of ear to like always do something a bit weirder that nobody's caught on to yet is the reason she became. And also her crazy work ethic, obviously.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things where you're like, she just has to be like a cool ass person, because everybody, like, there's no, like, it feels like everyone in the industry fucks with her. Like, it's like she works with like literally, it's like that picture where it's like a bunch of random ass people. It's like when you're cool with everybody, like that's the exact vibe. Like,
Yeah, I think like marketing wise too, like she wants it and she's been hungry and she's still hungry to this day. And that's a story that like anyone can get behind. Like, if you have someone that is really hungry in this industry and is clear that they want greatness and are striving for greatness, how can you not stand? Like, how can you not love someone that wants it and is also has the talent to back it up, you know? And it's just crazy that like after all these years, it seems like she's still trying to prove something, not to anybody else, but to herself, to be like, yeah, how far can I push this? How great can I be? And I don't know, how can you just like not love Beyonce?
and it's like she leverages her fame. Like, she even since B-Day, it's like she knows that she's so famous, and she's like, I know that my album's gonna pop off when it comes out. Hello. So what void in the music industry do I want to fill with this record? And she's like, I'm gonna find a way to make, like, she's like, I don't like what's playing on the radio right now. I'm gonna make what I want to hear on the radio, because I know it's gonna get played on the radio because I'm the shit. And like, exactly.
I love the idea of her just kind of like living in her own like artistic bubble, and like the world just has to catch up. It's so rare that you see someone so early in their career, like relatively early in their career. I'm like, I know that she'd been around kind of for a decade at that point, but like, it just feels weird that someone on their second solo album is like really kind of so confident. Like, when I was a kid, I always thought B-Day was like her fourth or fifth album, because Beyonce's been around forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or she's just like, she had that essence of like, I've been around for forever.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely think the only way over a sophomore slump is through it. And I think she also earned a lot of people's trust, you know, because she talks about how like she was told she didn't have a single hit on her first album, and then they were right. She had 5, like, period. But yeah, I think she earned like audience's trust, and maybe even to a degree, I don't know if you can ever earn a label's trust, honestly. But regardless, she was like, okay, I'm gonna do this second album on my own terms, regardless of any, you know, expectations of how it should sell or how it should measure up to the first album. Sonically, I think it was like very bold and brash and just like very ambitious. And yeah, it's really hard to comprehend the age she was making music like that.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was very inspired by Dreamgirls, where I think that's part of why the album is so notoriously loud, is because like she said, she's like, I wanted to go into the studio and say everything I wish Dina would have said in Dreamgirls.
Yes,
and
that's
then
fire.
She went in there and freaking screamed into that microphone for an hour and 30, and like, I'm happy she did. There's not a single Like, I rated all the songs out of 5 when I was listening to them. There's not a single song that's not a 5 out of 5 on that album, and that's
100%.
cold hard
There's
fact.
not a single skip.
Because that's
B-Day
like,
is that
it's
girl.
like it recovers from, like, the only downside of Dangerously in Love is that it is a really 2003 record. Like, it's still a great record. That's the thing. It's like, anything negative I have to say about any of the albums, it's like, it doesn't, like, take it past the threshold of, like, not liking it. It just brings it, I like it less. Or, like, the other, it just points out how good all the other stuff is. So it's like, B-Day, it's like, you know, you've got songs produced by Darkchild and Scott Storch, and it's just like, it sounds, and like the Neptunes, it sounds very 2003. The songs that people hate the most on that album, like, what's it called? Hip Hop Star.
Which is crazy.
That song,
by
that's
the
ahead of
way.
its time. People just weren't
It's
ready.
ahead
They
of
didn't
its time. I remember being a wee lass in Hip Hop Star. I was like, she's on some other shit. Like,
Exactly.
who is doing this right now? But yeah, the debut was a bit long.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting going back to B-Day. I think it's interesting because that first album was like hit after hit after hit, and B-Day, at least with the singles, was like a little rockier, right? But it was like that confidence. Like, I feel like with any other pop star, if you come out the gate and you have like 5 hits on one album, the next album they're going to expect 6, or they're going to expect 7 hits.
Or
you know
failed.
what I mean?
You're a failure.
Exactly. And I feel like that's just like how labels operate, because people are only looking at the charts, they're only looking at money, they're only looking at sales. With Beyonce, she just like had so much cultural impact and influence that like she could make, you know, her debut single was only like, no, I say only because again, just on her own standards, number 4. And then like I hear people talking about like how Irreplaceable kind of like saved the album. And I was like, it's just interesting that there was that narrative there when in retrospect was just so safe and so confident in being Beyonce that she knew she would make it through, or like at least she faked it till she made it, right? Like I feel like she's always been good at like pretending she's confident even though we don't know for a fact that she is, right? Like it could just be a performance at times, but I think it's just like with any other star, a label could have given up on them after like a second single underperformed, and she just had it in the pocket. Like I think Irreplaceable, I'm always surprised that wasn't the lead to B-Day, because I think I remembered it being the lead, but just because it was like the biggest song. But I
think it's just because she likes to come crashing through the door.
Yes,
The lead single.
it's true.
Yeah, I thought Deja Vu was like such a spectacular lead single, and I feel like I remember I don't want to say hate train of sorts.
Yeah,
but,
it
like,
had a lot of
I remember you like as a young kid, like
This song is
dancing
vulgar.
around in the dirt. Like she was all over the floor at the BET
They had a
Awards.
petition.
There was a petition. I remember that. Why do I remember this? Oh my god, that's crazy.
See, now
Like,
you were alive. See, before you were like, I wasn't.
Exactly. I was alive for this. And I remember, like, I don't know, maybe I remember my parents talking about it. My parents always being like, look at what Beyonce's doing. But, no, I think that was proof that she was doing something right, honestly. The fact that everybody was just shocked and aghast by everything. And, like, I don't know. I think it was such a bold choice, all of it. I can see why Deja Vu was first. Irreplaceable, while still loud, is one of the like safest moments on the album, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I see why they swooped in with that one as a single.
And
Great song, but
I love that it's like Neo wrote that for himself, and then he was like, I heard the way it sounded when a man sang it, so I gave it away.
yeah,
It's like, honestly, yeah, exactly.
Oh, he used to really have his finger on the pulse. Now I can't remember what I've read about Neo, but I've read some things where I've been like,
he's
I don't know.
got several wives.
That's it. That was
That's
it.
all I know.
I read that and I went,
Didn't know this was happening.
yeah.
I didn't know that was happening.
So for era 2, what are we thinking? This is Dangerously in Love, Destiny Fulfilled, and B-Day. So my 3 favorites from this era would be like Naughty Girl, Baby Boy, and Lose My Breath. Lose My Breath, the the drums and that, like I have had so many, like when I was an artist and I was making songs with this producer, I remember like every session I come in and be like, okay, but what about this element of Lose My Breath? I'd be like, it was the reference every day. Like it was just so good. And I was like, oh, there's just gotta be like another Lose My Breath kind of song.
That feels really unfair, like across all three of those. Because low-key, all of my choices are probably gonna be from B-Day.
Well, go for it.
Who was that girl?
B-Day was that girl. I mean, like, I think Kitty Cat is just like one of Beyonce's most like underrated. You know what? Okay, let me throw in one, because this is definitely in my top 5 Beyonce songs of all time. Me, Myself, and I. Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
That song
That's the
is
best
not-
song to sing. That's the best song to sing.
it can hold up against literally anything and anyone. But other than her, it's got to be like Green Light, Kitty Cat, Ring the Alarm. Like, B-Day just took it. B-Day took it for so long.
It also doesn't have to be 3. I just only wrote down 3 for
Right,
for
sorry. Okay, well then we'd be here all day.
I think Mila wrote down every song for me.
Actually, the whole album, yeah.
The whole album.
Just ditto.
No, I think Freakum Dress for sure. B-Day. I love me some Freakum Dress. Dangerously in Love, and I feel like that's kind of, it's very local of me. But yeah, Dangerously in Love, specifically when she opened the Renaissance tour with Dangerously in Love, I think that shifted something.
That's not
A
local of
spiritual
you at all.
experience.
That's
A
a
spiritual
deep cut.
experience.
Like, a lot of people don't know that song.
I feel
Yeah.
like because of the tour, everyone is
Yeah.
like super like Dangerously in Love, Dangerously. And I'm one of them. I'm one of them. Because
Love.
I hate to stand out, but like that was my first Beyonce concert, and I was brought to
Love.
tears. I've never cried at a concert before,
Oh,
but I cried that
love
day.
I
As you
cried at
should.
every single Beyonce concert. Sobbed
I
my
get it.
eyes out the entire time.
If I ever feel myself starting to cry at like a piece of art, I never stop myself. I'm like, this is what we should be crying at.
That's
Like,
what it's
Like, these
for.
are the emotional beats that were built in.
I saw Hercules on the West End. No, it's not even the emotional beats. I saw Hercules on the West End. I sobbed for the first 3 songs. I'm not even
Anytime
kidding.
any amount of people are singing in unison, I'm gonna start crying. And
Yeah, like
that's
Book of
just
Mormon, I
not
cried
life.
during the first song because I was just like, they're doing such a good job, and I just felt
Yeah.
like a grandma. I was like my friend turned to me and they were like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "They're so good and they're so talented and they put a lot of work in, and
That's so true.
you can just see it." So it's like, for a concert, I think I have yet to cry at a concert. If I did, I
I
can't
think I've
remember.
cried at every concert I've ever gone to.
I just
something so
I love
healing about
that. I can't wait. I'll be
There
crying
was
at the
a
Jay
mass
Stevens
healing.
concert in Boston
Shit,
because
me
I am
too.
going.
Me
I am.
too.
I will be there.
I almost cry at like all my concerts during certain songs because it's just like, what
Oh my
are
god,
you
if I
guys
was a
doing here?
performer, I can't imagine how much I would be crying. I cried. I remember when City Girls were first getting really big, they did this
Whoa.
documentary, and I cried watching their documentary because I was like, I'm so proud of them. Like,
So
like,
true.
and like I feel like, and anytime I hear, like, if I'm at a concert when people start clapping, I cry. I used to have to go to like the brass orchestra concerts in college. We used to have to go to a certain amount of them. I would cry anytime they would get like a standing ovation. Like, it just makes me so emotional. I can't even imagine if I was on stage and they were clapping for me. I probably would have to leave stage for a moment.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Let me collect myself.
Yeah.
Third one's gonna be Ring the Alarm, just because
Ring
when I
the
want to
alarm,
yell.
ring the alarm.
No.
Right.
I want to yell in my trench coat and get dragged away. I'm gonna say, Upgrade You, iconic, taught me so much, like an educational piece of music.
Absolutely.
And then I also have Kitty Cat on mine. And then I'm gonna throw in a deep cut, back up off the Circuit City exclusive edition of B-Day. A lot of people think it's unreleased simply because it only came out in the version that was sold at Circuit City. And then I'm gonna
It
do
was
an
released
honorable.
to you.
Yeah,
It was released directly
specifically
to Mila
me.
Tequila.
And then I'm gonna do an honorable mention to "Cater to You" because I love that song. I cannot relate, unfortunately, to them, to those emotions that they're feeling in that song.
Any of
But,
us should.
but I do love to sing it, and it is like that song. Me, Myself, and I, back to back, over and over again. Doesn't matter how long the drive is. It's okay. I have those 2 songs. I'll keep singing. The show must go on.
So now we should probably move into the next era. This is I Am Sasha Fierce and 4.
This is when she gagged alive.
This is when she gagged a lot, but this is also when, because I'm like thinking like, who is Beyonce? How is she viewed in this era? And like she was doing that like DSI commercial, and she like had those like all those photo shoots with like the random white background that like people are still like, who is this?
This is when she became like the most famous person.
Yeah.
Yes, she like
This is when she became like commercial pop princess.
I think this
Yes.
is when white people clocked into Beyonce. Like I think
yes.
that
And he
I
said,
think, I think I Am Sasha Fierce was kind of like that moment. And I don't know, I feel like she was kind of acting out a little bit. Like, I felt like she was like, well, damn, my debut did all of this, and then everybody tried to talk about me for my second album. So I felt like I Am Sasha Fierce was her trying to, like, give people what they want in the way of, like, radio-ready, you know, digestible hits in a way. But then
not
also,
too
like,
safe either,
but
because
not
like
too safe, because she was like, I'm gonna give you video phone. Like, what was that?
Yes.
Crazy.
and also like single ladies, like you know those like
Another
viral
insane
videos
beat.
where they're like, this is the instrumental of Single Ladies, how the fuck
Yeah.
was this a pop song? Like
Literally.
that, it's not just Single Ladies, it's like half of the songs, or it's like, well, it's the half that is the Sasha Fierce half. You're just like, what were they doing? Like it truly, Beyonce loves a strange beat.
She does.
and like honestly, the phrasing on a song like "Hello," like no one else is doing that. Hello, like there's no one else doing like what she was doing on that record. Like, and then to drop a song like "Ego," like I don't know. It's like this album is like I Am Sasha Fierce is like when you go, okay, she's insane, and then. Also, there's no samples on this record, on the standard edition at least. I don't know about the deluxe, but there are not a single sample. It was like fully all based on like live instrumentation and like synths.
That's
It's just
rare
like
for a Beyonce
it's,
album.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. This is peak radio Beyonce.
Yeah, this was kind of like her sellout era, but like, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's seen as her sellout era, even though like the music itself is not sellout. Maybe a little bit of the I Am half, but like is like a little like playing it safe. But
no, yeah, I get it. I think this was her trying to find a way to do it on her own terms.
Yeah.
And I think there's like a pattern in her discography where like she plays the game a little bit with the debut, then she gets weird on B-Day, then she plays the game a little bit with I Am Sasha Fierce, then she got weird as fuck on 4. Like,
yes, well,
like,
I think Sasha Fierce and 4 are so interesting as like companion pieces, because it's like Sasha Fierce was like the last time that she was like, I am a singles artist and I am pushing the singles. And then 4 is like before anyone like was really trying to be a pop star and an albums artist. Like that like wasn't as much. That was like a thing last with like Celine Dion, right? Or I guess Britney Spears like commercially tried to push her
Mariah Carey, like the
albums.
vocal divas.
Mariah
I feel
Carey,
like
that's a
were
great
doing
point.
that, but like
yeah.
people in Beyonce's generation who made those smash hit singles weren't also working at that element of it.
Yes. So 4 was kind of like 4 is like her first album, I think, as an albums artist, and like Sasha Fierce is like her last album as a singles artist.
Yeah.
In my head, at least. But what I think is interesting about I Am Sasha Fierce is that like you can tell that she cared about it as an album. I don't know how well that landed with a lot of people, because I know a lot of people like this is like their least favorite Beyonce album, which again, Mila, like you said
Praise
earlier, it doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that it's like
Yeah, it's
not
closer
as
to
high as the
record,
others.
yeah.
But for a lot of people, this is their least favorite. But like you can see that she really cared about it as an album by like going in with a concept. And like Beyonce would eventually be known for these big swing concepts, but this was like kind of, I think, her first kind of like dabble. And then I wonder if like Matthew not managing her career or like her dad not managing her career anymore, like contributed to 4 being like the start of like, or like
100%.
yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Well, also, I Am Sasha Fierce, the first half, like the ballad half, the I Am part of I Am Sasha Fierce, makes so much sense. I realized this when I was listening to it today. When you realize that was when she was getting married. That's when she was like engaged and getting married. So I was like, these are she was like, I'm gonna make a song for someone to dance to at their wedding. That whole first half is like, these are songs for a wedding. Like, this is someone's first dance song, and it's probably many people. Ave Maria,
Yeah.
get on the dance floor. Get on the dance
See ya,
floor.
Halo.
Crazy couple.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were like I'm gonna make a song for someone to sing at my wedding, and Kelly Clarkson's gonna make that same song.
Ryan Tedder's gonna make the same song.
yeah. Ryan Tedder will make the same song and like try like it would be like that. Copy my homework, but don't make it look like I copied my homework.
Yeah, literally.
And then she took a bunch of time off. Well, not a bunch. I mean, this is Beyonce. But she took some time off in between the two albums. And she was like, she was being a wife, you know, newlywed status. She was traveling, going to music festivals. And she was like, this is when she was like, I don't like what I'm hearing on the radio right now. How do I get R&B back on the radio? And she was like, I'm going to have to find a way to make my record what I want to hear. Like, I'm going to try to make it more live and lean into like what people like about my live performances and make that into a record. And like the headlining of Glastonbury was literally written in the stars with this album. Like, she was like, what's going to sound best when I'm performing on that stage? Like, I'm at a festival right now. What I want to be there. What can I make that'll sound best when I'm there? And you can hear that throughout the whole album.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think this was another example of her being like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want, because at this point, like, all the R&B artists had kind of started jumping ship to EDM. Like,
yeah,
everybody was doing ooms ooms. Usher was talking about when
shade.
DJ got us falling in love again, okay? And she was like, no, I'm gonna keep it going. She leaned into like a bit of an alt space, which I remember really loving. She recruited Mr. Alt R&B himself. Frank Ocean was on this one. I definitely didn't know who Frank Ocean was at the time. I wasn't really aware of him or his presence on this album until Self-Titled. But yeah, like, I think those kinds of decisions are the things that really make her stand the test of time, honestly. Just like that, going against the grain. Even though probably, you know, again, in the eyes of the stats and the charts and the numbers, people might have seen it as like a step back, even though creatively I think it was such a leap forward. But then that step back is what makes her think, okay, bitch, I'm not doing anything you guys want from me anymore. And that's how you end up with an album like Self-Titled.
yeah. Well, yeah, with 4 it was like, I remember thinking like, is she hitting like legacy artist territory? Like,
that's what people were saying.
Yeah, like I remember at the time when 1+1 came out, because hot take, I don't like that song. I like the songwriters. You don't know much
about Algebra?
That is an unpopular opinion.
Algebra, yes. I have warmed up on that song a lot since when it first came out, but I remember being like, this song is so stupid, because I was only playing the 30-second previews on iTunes and I didn't buy it because I remember all I heard was like, 1 + 1 = 2. And I was like,
no,
and me being like what, like a 5th grader, I was like, yeah, I know.
I just learned that last week. Like, catch up.
Exactly. Beyonce, you're older than me. You should know this.
He has a lot of songs that like, and I wrote them in my like notes when I was listening, that it's like somehow even better live. And that 1+1 is 100% one of those where it's like incredible on the record. When she performs it live, it takes it to a whole nother stratosphere.
Yeah, I have warmed up to it where I don't skip it,
yes.
but I just like don't like it as much as the others. But I remember hearing 1+1 and I was like, is this kind of where she like mellows out? Mm-hmm. Obviously, the answer is no.
Yeah, the answer is no.
The answer is no.
It was crazy. Like, I feel like I remember. I remember the smear campaigns when Run the World came out. Like,
yeah.
So at this point, I was on Tumblr, and there were like fully like Beyonce Tumblr fan pages issuing statements. They were like, "We do not like this song, but we still support Beyonce."
Whoa!
I was like, guys.
How much were they paid? No, seriously, because
it's not that serious.
Well, I mean, ever since like all this stuff came out recently about how smear campaigns work, because they were like doxxed because of the Blake Lively thing. It's like with the Chappell Roan thing, like I'm just like constantly just like, who is like everything feels paid and I don't know what's real anymore. But yeah, Beyonce, and I think around this time it was like all the like Beyonce's secretly a man, Beyonce's secretly like if you play Single Ladies backwards,
not really pregnant.
Yes, Beyonce's not really pregnant.
Pregnant belly.
Yes, if you play Single Ladies backwards, then it's like it's the devil's sign.
Tears fall. It's like when it's so funny because first of all, if you listen to it and you aren't looking at the lyrics on the screen that they're putting, it doesn't sound like that. But also, even those lyrics, like, what does that mean? It's like, the one I can remember is just the people's tears fall. It's like, what is satanic about that? like, what even would that mean?
God forbid someone cry.
In respect to Satan, what would that mean? Like, it's just, and yeah, this was Beyonce. It's like, she's so famous and so talented. Something's off. Something's gotta be wrong here. Like, there's no way. And I'm like, that's like honestly the highest compliment you can get as an artist is like, people are like, you're too good. You're not human, I think. I'm like, no, I agree, actually. After listening to these records, I'm like, no, she's not. Something is up.
I think it's nuanced too, because like the whole concept of her being a Black woman and topping the charts and being super successful, it's like, the devil, you know?
Yeah, you must have yeah. It was weird around this time too, because it really felt like we went from the Sierras and the Ashantis and Brandy and whatever to then it was like just her and Rihanna. All the pressure was put on them to represent. And so, I don't know, it was just very interesting, like, especially because they went such different routes. But like, Sasha Fierce always kind of reminds me of like Loud, where it's like bulletproof singles and like the rest is like a little, you know, I don't know. It's hit or miss, but at least for me. But like 4 is truly something that like I think was a move that Beyonce made that other pop stars wouldn't have made in that moment. Like, it was just like she saw the vision. And I think she was afforded that because of how well, not even Halo, but like Single Ladies did.
Yeah.
Because I think the Single Ladies music video, like, bought Beyonce a lot of time and artistry, where she was able to really have people believe in her vision, because like the Single Ladies video set off the whole Taylor Kanye chain of events because it was that good. Like the Singles Lady video, like we said, was getting played backwards for satanic panic things. Like the Single Ladies video was like a budget of $2, and it was like the first like viral dance trend, like in that wave. And I just think that, like, you know, it broke YouTube records. It was just like, I think that was the moment where it was like Beyonce is the pop princess. And this is like before, I think, was this like when people were referring to her as the queen?
Yeah, 4 I think is beginning of like Queen Bee era.
Because I remember really hearing it and really feeling like she stepped into that role of queen with the next album, which we'll get to, but
well, I think that goes back to what Jay was saying, which like this is when a lot of white people tapped in and they were like, Queen, yes, Queen, and like they got a little ahead of themselves sometimes, and then they were like, Queen, throw on some gangster rap, put my hair in a bun, and get shit done,
and
like
handle it.
Okay.
and that was, and I think a lot of that was tied to the like. This was like Queen Beyonce, which is why, you know, when we get to Lemonade, it's like that SNL sketch where it's like the day Beyonce turned black. And a lot of people just were like shaking in their loafers because they're like, wait, I'm so confused.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to that. But in the meantime, did we have anything else to say about Sasha Fierce or 4 before we get into our favorite
Well, of course,
songs?
the pregnancy reveal. We cannot talk about 4
Yes.
without talking about. Anytime I think about Love on Top, I think about that pregnancy reveal. Like, that is like a culture-moving moment. Mountains were moved.
Blues debut.
Blues debut.
Like, what other kid do you know?
And she's been running Beyonce's career ever since.
Okay.
Strict manager.
You know what? It's funny. Like when you said something about like Tina was Beyonce, or like Beyonce had 2 mothers named Tina. It's like, I wonder if that literally will be like if something happens with Blue Ivy, like career wise, where she like decides that she wants to start making music like that. Like, I wonder if that lineage will be that direct.
I think so. Famously, Jay-Z just revealed that she has perfect pitch. So
Yes, I was literally just about to say that. Yeah,
Like, okay.
he's
course,
like replacing
Beyonce.
something on the piano, and she's
casual. Yeah.
and she doesn't. She's like, no, I don't want to teach her. I'm gonna teach myself.
Love.
Like, she's been the
See?
manager. Like,
She's been the manager. Why does the manager need a manager?
she'd be in the back tracking Beyonce's vocals when she's on tour. Like,
And she got roomy in shape.
okay.
It's like she was in there while this was happening. Like, how could she not have perfect pitch?
Exactly. She was in there cooking.
Beyonce's belting I Care while she's inside of her. Like, yeah.
That is so crazy.
Or she knows music.
So, for favorite songs of this era, I said Countdown, absolutely at my number one. I kind of had to throw in Telephone there, even though it didn't. It's like in this era, and it's like we had to bring it up. Telephone, of course, and then I said Party with Andre 3000.
Yes, Andre 3000, not the J. Cole version.
No.
I don't even know her. Like,
I don't know what happened there,
version
but
only.
it's fine. It's fine. No, that's pretty solid, honestly. I feel like for me, it's like I think Ego has to be included.
Mm-hmm.
He gotta be. Sorry. Ego, Countdown, Party, I Care, I Miss You. Like, she was feeling so sentimental on that album.
I Miss You is maybe her most underrated song ever.
They didn't understand her. Like, she was misunderstood.
I'd say Party for sure. That's like the summer day party anthem. Like, hello, can't wait.
Yes.
What else? Diva, for obvious
Yes.
reasons.
Shout out manager Blue Ivy.
Okay. I always struggle with my third one because I'm always neck and neck. But I'd probably say I Care.
That
It's undeniable.
She's
With
the human
Diva,
guitar in that one.
With Diva,
It's
I
like
always think of
this
Glee.
whole album is like
Yeah.
best performed live. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
Yes.
don't even bother
Definitely.
listening to the record. Go watch the tour movie.
She's one of the few artists that like you want to see her live because you know the vocals are going to sound so much better. Like the studio, amazing. But she's going to elevate it to a level that you did not think was possible.
I guess my three, I'm going to put Sweet Dreams on mine. I know that's kind of a controversial opinion. I don't care.
I think
Sweet
that's
Dreams is an
valid.
incredible song. 4, this is where I come through with Dance for You and School and Life. And I know School and Life has like got around on TikTok recently. I want to say I've been a School and Life truther since day one. I have a tweet from like years ago where I posted that song and like people in the replies were like, whoa, like you like you know what's up. I'm like, don't ever question me. Like, of course, like no, I'm very serious about School and Life. That's a very, very serious song to me. And a lot of people don't like that song either.
I love School and Life.
Maybe it just needs to grow on y'all. I don't know.
Okay, moving on to Era 4. This is self-titled and Lemonade. This is truly, to me, I think this is where I like woke up. I got conscious. I was like, oh my God, because it was so, I think it was easy to miss. I mean, like she was already so legendary by the time of 4, but I think that like, if you weren't actively paying attention, I think it would be easy to miss some of the like amazing like artistry she was doing. As soon as she drops Beyonce, I think that like it's true. It's like digital drop, make the whole world stop. That's not the exact lyric, but I think that you just like everyone had to pay attention. Everyone had to have an opinion. She was officially Queen Bee, and I think that it started off this like second wind of her career that was just like way bigger than the first in a way that I think no one could predict, because at this point in time, I think we weren't used to like female artists staying around for this long unless it was like Madonna. Like Madonna was like the only one that was able to like escape all the pitfalls that like the industry set up for her, I think.
Yeah. Like she never had a low moment. There was never a lull in the career.
Yeah.
What was everyone doing the night that this album came out?
I was in my basement.
Do you remember where you were?
I do. This was weird for me because I was like, I remember caring so much because I was just marveling over the fact that she could surprise drop an album and no one knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On a
And,
Friday
like,
too.
And it was
Like,
on a visual album.
Friday.
Yes, on a Friday.
Shout out New Music Tuesday. What was that?
Exactly. Well, no, that's the thing is like, this is where, even though she's had so much impact before and we've talked about that, it's like, this is where it like, with just the release of this album, New Music Friday becomes a thing. Everyone starts releasing on Fridays. Everyone starts doing surprise drops, and everyone tries to do visual albums.
Visuals. What are visuals? Where does that come from?
That's a tricky question now. You can't.
Visualizer.
I don't know anymore. I've forgotten.
Yeah, when people do visualizers, it's like, okay, not a budget yet for the music video, not the vision that you have for the music video, but like there are things going on other than the lyrics. That's what I interpret as a visualizer. But
I think this is when
so
she
abstract.
kind of starts to come into herself in like the Beyonce that we know now, where she's got the camps of producers and writers, and she's like, come stay at my house for 2 months while we work on this album.
Yeah.
And then she like this is the title era, so this like, and I feel like that's another part of the like the writers camps is like kind of forming this coalition with like every super mega famous artist, like with Chris Martin and Justin Timberlake and Timbaland, and like just like where you have close connect, like she's got a close connection with everyone in the industry, and then they all come together and are like, yeah, we'd love to make this streaming platform that is like catered to artists. And then she's like releasing stuff only on this like random, like on Tidal, like, sorry, no one had, like, who had Tidal?
I had Tidal, but only for Beyonce.
Exactly,
Literally
like,
only for
and
Beyonce.
she knew, and that's
maybe
another thing
Rihanna,
where it's
too.
like, and she knew that, and she's like, how can I shift this? Because like I simply can with the touch of my finger, like change whatever I want, and then she did, and it's like Tidal was built on Beyonce's back.
Basically,
I was gonna say like this was the start or the end of like Beyonce the person and the birth of Beyonce the entity, because from this point onward, I mean, like of course with like Lemonade, we get to see a more personal side to her, but this is when people stop thinking of her as just like an artist and start thinking of her as like that celebrity that we live in now.
Yes.
And I just love that she birthed the industry. Like I love a mother. Like
Yes.
And this is when she performed at the inauguration too, like just larger than like a large. Oh, and she performs at the inauguration, famously lip synced because she didn't have time to rehearse with the orchestra, and then does it raw vocal at the press conference for the Super Bowl. Any questions? Yes. Like,
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Larger than life, and like dropping I've Been On and stuff on SoundCloud.
Yes,
like,
I was gonna say that. Like, I do feel like that also goes into like the end of people seeing Beyonce as like just like a person or just like a regular. I'm not a regular artist in the words of Ice Spice. But yeah, like because I remember when Bow Down came out on like SoundCloud, and it was so braggadocious. Like we'd never heard Beyonce talking about bow down bitches before ever, and like I remember people were like really offended by it and being like, oh my god, like who does she think she is? Like why is she getting mean? Like what's going on? I was like, no, like you don't get it. Like
my close
she's
personal friend
entering a new ether.
she's
like
ascending.
She's ascending. Like we should all bow down. What do you mean?
Yeah, I think this is musically where she hit her stride. She was like, I can do every genre, right? And she would later prove that over and over again. But like with Self-Titled and Lemonade, she was like, let me just do all the genres. Like, it doesn't matter. Let me work with Jack White. Let me work with the chicks, you know? And it was also the peak of her, of like the celebrity intrigue, right? Like we already thought that we had seen that with like the Beyonce pregnancy, but it's like the elevator video and Lemonade and the hunt for Becky. Like it was,
we still
was
looking
like,
for this day.
We're still looking.
to this day. I mean, I would love to know.
I think it's best for her if that never comes out.
I would, yeah, no, I would not
got
love for that
witness
to be public
protection.
information. I would love to personally know because I know I wouldn't be weird about it. But yeah, I think, and then there was also, it was a peak of that, like she really spearheaded that controversy because this is right around when like the authenticity crisis was coming into play. So it was like everyone, it didn't matter now if you were a great singer or a great performer or you were like literally like Beyonce. It was like everything was like now like, but does she write her own songs? And it only came for women. People only cared when it came to women, but it was like this like witch hunt for like who was Britney Spears. And I've said this on the podcast with Mila before, but like not even Britney Spears was the Britney Spears that they thought they were hunting after because they thought Britney Spears was like this puppet and she wasn't, but they just like, you had to dig to like know that to be true. So I feel like this was like the peak of like people realizing how Beyonce assembles albums, the controversy for like not writing her own music or getting told that she doesn't write her own music. And then the whole Beck winning album of the year over self-titled because he was the only credited writer.
I was sick. I was hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I don't know if we have thoughts on this today because I feel like this has been discussed over and over again, but I still think it's so interesting that like Beyonce is the like kind of figurehead of this conversation.
I think it's just another means to discredit a woman and a Black woman who can't possibly be good at this many things all at once and can't possibly be involved in the creation of a song that doesn't include sitting down with a pen and a paper. I think a lot of people are not privy to what it takes to create a song, to A&R a song, to executive produce a song. It's far more than like there's so many moving parts that go into a song. And that's the beauty of a song. It can really be as simple as two people sitting down with a piece of paper and a guitar. And it also can be as grand a spectacle as this producer sampling this producer from 10 years ago and Beyonce coming in and pulling this part that she likes and that part that she likes and telling this writer change this. Like, that is production, and that is making a song, and that involves just as much of a musically inclined ear as like, you know, your favorite poet who,
probably even more so because
probably
like,
even more like
because like I write songs all the time and I'm like when I like MNEK just posted a video about like
Legend
about like Hold Up and how Beyonce was like, I already have these parts, I'm just looking for like what sparks your interest.
The fact that she even knows something is left.
Exactly. Right. Reaches out to MNEK when in a place in his career where he was like just kind of, you know, he wasn't the MNEK that we know today, right? And she knows the people to reach out to. She listens to the whole song and she goes, this one part, this second verse is going to be the bridge. Like that level of like puzzle piecing. And then like, even if you are only changing a few lines, you are that is taking that and putting that into perspective is crazy. There was what was it called? Was it All Night or no, it was Love Drought, right? And she made Love Drought about, in the context of Lemonade, she made it about her marriage when Love Drought was written about someone's relationship with their label. And I just think that's so fascinating. It's like she can contextualize things that aren't about something at all, and you just fully believe that they were always meant to be about the thing that Beyonce is singing about, because that's a talent, right? And I don't know, I can't picture doing what she does. And I also think if Max Martin came out, or Timbaland or Pharrell, and they were like, this is what we do, this is how we make songs, everyone would be like, they're such geniuses.
Yeah,
they're so smart. They think outside the box.
They love to discredit Beyonce, and with the like accreditation thing, like people get so mad that her accreditations are so long. She's an accrediting queen. She's not the only one that does it.
So
She's the only one that will actually give everyone their just
They'd be
dues.
mad if she wasn't giving anybody anything.
Okay, and there's hella artists that don't do that.
Oh,
so much of it also comes from the samples too. So they're like it's just like them. It comes down to them not even like knowing the names of famous singers too. Like it'll be like a sample of, it's like all the names of the members of Led Zeppelin on there. They're like, look at all these writers. It's like, babe, John Bonham is dead. He wasn't there writing on this album. This is a sample.
Came from beyond the grave.
It's like the time Megan Thee Stallion sampled a song, sampled a Mary J. Blige song that sampled a different song, and she had all these writers, and she was like, there were two people in the room, we just sampled a song that happened to sample another song, and we had to credit like 17 other people. I'm like, that's just like, sometimes that's just how hip-hop works. And I'm like,
that's literally the backbone of hip-hop is like sampling.
Yeah, it's not a one-to-one.
Sampling something that sampled something that sampled something that sampled something. Like at this point, if hip-hop's been around for 50 years, everything's like built, like you've got decades of things that are built on a sample of a sample of a sample. It's like, of course, everything's going to have a lot of credits.
Yeah.
That doesn't change the fact, like, it just like, it doesn't make, like the logic just literally doesn't track. Like it doesn't make any sense, because also it comes down to just not like choosing to not believe what's put before you, because she has a writing and a production credit on every song on every album.
Exactly.
Save for like,
I don't know why they I don't know why they use it as like some kind of gotcha. Like, yeah, a lot of people worked on the song. A lot of people are involved with the process. That just shows that she's working hard and is a student of the music
Yeah.
and knows who to tap to actually make an amazing song. Like, you like the music, don't you? Like,
And there's not like it's not like some kind of moral failure to collaborate with other artists on
It's
a record.
actually like a very intelligent thing to do, to know
Exactly.
when to reach out for like a new perspective. That's what
And-
keeps you from becoming a legacy act.
Yeah, and like I said, it just proves that you're a lit person.
I want to name the Super Bowl performances, the 2 Super Bowl performances. I think the moment that my brain chemistry just like changed forever was coming into Coldplay's set and doing Formation. When I say that, I was so bored during that halftime show until she came in, and then I was like everything changed for me. Everything changed for me. That was absolutely incredible. And then obviously her own Super Bowl is like the one that everyone credits as like the best Super Bowl ever.
Knocked
That's
out the
what I
power
would
at the
say.
Superdome.
Knocked out the power.
She
The
should.
lights went out.
I'm just glad it didn't go out during her set, because could you imagine? Could you imagine someone
Already,
doing
she
the
was
Super
already
Bowl?
off mark on that spot on the ground. Like, somebody's not getting fired, bitch. Everybody's getting fired.
It's like the
Oh
one
my
thing where I go,
gosh.
yeah, this is live. It's a little humanizing because everything else she does, you're like, there's no way that this is live.
That's
right?
It's the evidence for the Illuminati people. It's like, oh, look, she is human. Because look,
Exactly.
Yeah. I also want to say that I was in the audience at the VMAs when she did the surprise lemonade medley.
Ugh.
you were in the video.
I'm unfortunately not. I was in the nosebleeds, but I want to lie and say that I was like right there in the audience. I gave her
Just
the
do
bat.
it.
I
I'll
handed
give
her
you
the
that.
bat.
I will give you that 100%.
But yeah, that was awesome. The also the Lemonade visual album, I remember buying that on iTunes and like playing that to death. I played that like 4 times. I was on a road trip. I played it 4 times in a row on the way.
that's really an album that's like, don't even listen to it. Just go watch it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Loki, I remember
Watch it and
sitting down
cry.
and watched it on was it HBO?
Yeah, it was on HBO.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was tapped in. I was so sad. That was such a good summer for
So-
music.
Oh, so
Summer
good.
16.
Yeah.
Summer 16. Don't get me started.
Okay.
Between her, Rihanna, Drake, Ariana Grande, like Frank, what was going on? I
Britney
don't
Spears
know.
was there too.
Everyone was hungry and scared.
Who
Everybody
else?
was hungry and scared.
I think like the progression of her life that goes with the records like makes every record so much more interesting too. If you think of
Yeah.
like, you know, she gets married, she has her wedding album, and then she has the baby, and then she has Beyoncé, which is very much like stepping into sexuality and femininity in like a way that probably very much was inspired by the fact that she had just had a kid and like, you know, trying to like being like, I'm a mother, but I'm also still like my own person. I'm a sexual person. I'm still just as sexy as I always have been. And in fact, I'm getting sexier every second of every day. And then Jay-Z, the incident occurs. And like, it's also like, okay, the incident occurs. We have the elevator fight video. They go on tour together that summer. She's like, matter of fact, you're not staying
Humiliation.
at home alone. You're not staying at home alone anymore. Like, you literally can't be trusted. You're going on tour with me now. Like, you've left me no choice. And then to come back with Lemonade, there's no words to, and then this being at the peak of the time where it's like, we don't know Beyonce as a person anymore. Yet she releases her most like,
My most personal album yet.
and like it really is though. It's like it's
It
so
is. She's the
introspective
only
and
one who
so
can say
like
it.
raw, and it's like honestly very brave to put out a record that's like the whole record is like, this is why I forgave my cheating husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
basically.
Everyone hates and thinks I shouldn't be with, and it's like honestly like that's like the bravest thing you can do as a person, as a woman in music, is to be like, everyone knows that my husband cheated on me because I'm telling you about it, and then I'm gonna also tell you about like how we therapied that and where we're at now.
If
And, like-
Hillary Clinton wanted to win the 2016 election, she should have put out Milk. I mean, that's and everyone would have seen the vision.
I
No.
saw it. I tried to see it. I tried.
Oh, and also something else I just want to bring up. The fact that she started the movement amongst pop stars for it to be cool to be a feminist, right? Like when she had
Yeah.
feminist right behind her at the VMAs. I remember that was that was one of it wasn't the first time I heard feminist, but that was the first time where I was like, oh, this is a thing now, where it's like celebrities are really getting into like whether they define themselves as a feminist.
Because before that, the way you'd hear feminist was people going, "I'm not a feminist or anything," but
yeah,
and then
I think everyone had like denied it at that point, and she was like, "No, I am a feminist," and then everyone was like, "Beyonce's feminist. It's actually pretty cool." It's like, wait, there's something to that. So my top 3 songs from this era are Formation. Of course, it's my favorite Beyonce song ever. I'm so upset that the Big Frida like speaking parts aren't in the actual streaming version of the song.
Yeah.
I think it was on the title version, but I don't remember because I don't have it anymore. Partition is also there, and Pray You Catch Me. Pray You Catch Me is just that just at the end. I love it. I love it so much. And it's like a perfect album opener.
I'm obsessed with, I think Blow is Everything.
Yes. Oh, that was so
on the
close to
roller
making mine.
skates. Get serious. Blow, I gotta say, Don't Hurt Yourself with Jack White. We're ready for Act 3. And then, yeah, Partition, Flawless / Bow Down. I wish they were like separate songs, but like,
Yeah.
so fire, so good.
Love. For me, you already know, Drunken Love.
Yep.
That was my intro. Exactly. Hooting and hollering. Partition for sure. Speak a little French. And
I always think it's crazy that Justin Timberlake was on that song, or he wrote it. Sorry.
I'll give him his 9.5.
him and Timbaland brought his boy and said, "Let's make a song."
Can I bring my +1?
They travel nowhere separately.
okay. And then last one, 7-Eleven, just because I love the music video for that.
Wait,
Yes.
yes.
7-Eleven.
I love
is
when
one of
she
those...
just gets like fun and she's like, don't
Right?
think too much.
Yeah. No, because like truly, like if anyone's taking themselves seriously, it's Beyonce. So when she loosens up and she releases something like Countdown or 7-Eleven, it's a moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say EXO. That song makes me cry. I don't think I've ever listened to that song and not cried while listening to it. It's like that song is 2013. I'm gonna say Mine. That's one of my favorite songs of all time in general. I literally love that song, and you know what? I'm glad Drake was there. I'm gonna say what everyone's afraid to say.
No, you're right.
And then-
You're right, and you should say
It's
it.
right there.
And then I'm gonna say, All Night. Honorable mention to. I have so many. I like can't live with myself. Honorable mention to the Flawless remix featuring Nicki Minaj.
Ooh, that friendship did not age well. I think about that with Ariana Grande too. I'm like,
The song is so good. The trumpets.
okay, wait, can I throw in Feeling Myself as well? Because that song
Yes.
is
Dude, trying to find that music video when that came out,
That was
hunting
crazy.
down that music video, like I was watching like the blurriest,
good, too.
worst like footage on Vimeo, like trying to find someone uploading it.
I've never seen someone release something as lost media. Like,
Yeah, that's
Like I want
crazy.
no one to see this.
She did not want anyone to see like anything she was doing. It's like password protected, everything.
that's for
I also want to give an honorable mention to all of Blue's appearances on both of these records. Like in the song Blue, that song already makes me cry when Blue comes in at the end.
Yes.
Tears. And then at the end of Daddy Lessons, the good job, B, like,
oh,
and I was already crying. I was already crying. And now here I am.
I do love that part. Okay, Era 5. This
Okay.
was Everything Is Love, Homecoming, and The Gift. This is where we saw Beyonce kind of diversifying the bag a little bit. She had Ivy Park. So she didn't really have like a lot of chart success with these projects as much as like her like remixes. So she had like 3 big remixes. She had the Megan Thee Stallion Savage remix, which went number 1. The Perfect remix with Ed Sheeran, which went number 1. And then she had the Mi Gente remix with
Crazy.
J Balvin, which was top 3. So I think it's really interesting that in this period of her career, it was less about like, it was like, I'm going to go and I'm going to make art on the side. I'm going to make a bunch of side projects. And in the meantime, I'm still going to be collecting all these number ones because I'm Beyonce. And so everyone needs a little bit of Beyonce in their songs. But in terms of like an actual proper, Beyonce single, like we were getting that for a while.
I hate the way that the internet treated Gift or The Gift.
Justice for The Gift.
Okay.
That's why we're being punished with no visuals, because no one.
I do believe that. I do believe she poured so much into The Gift, and like the visual movie is crazy. Yeah. The album's visual component film. That's why she's kind of over it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to.
Honestly, it's like we're all begging for visuals. She used to be like kind of the queen of visuals. Like almost all of her albums are visual albums, except for like Dangerously in Love and Sasha Fierce. Like all the other albums have like full, like there's a music video for every song.
I think The Gift deserved better. That album came out while I was on vacation in Greece, okay? I was living my best life to all of those songs. I'll never take my power, eh?
Brown skin girl.
Brown skin girl. Yes. So good.
So Everything Is Love, I do have a hot take.
Okay.
This at one point was my favorite Beyonce album.
It's a great album.
That's a hot take.
It was like, I think I had like recency bias, but when it first came out, I was like, this is hitting like nothing else. I don't know what it is. It's just like, I think it's the easiest to come back to for me because like all those hooks just get like stuck in my head constantly.
It's really solid. Like there's no like lulls in it. Like, I mean, it's not, it's obviously not her most like in-depth piece of work, but it's pretty solid. And then they've rehashing some Lemonade and 444 stuff. They talk about the breakup and makeup on there too.
It was beautiful. It was like mom and daughter back together again.
Yeah.
But I do remember big cause for contention at the time was everybody was like, we wanted a Beyonce album.
Right. Well, yeah,
yes. I do remember that.
I think without the lead up of the anticipation of we waited 2 years, where's the next Beyonce album? Mm-hmm. I think that it's like you can totally appreciate it for what it is. But in this time, she was not really. I remember everyone was like, is Beyonce ever going to make a real album again? Or is it just going to be like side projects?
Ape Shit had me going ape shit though. I can't lie.
I love that one, and I love Migos, even though that's now a hot take. I love Migos' music, I should say.
Honestly, same. Like they gave us some hits, okay?
Yeah. They ruled 2016, okay?
They did. Yeah. Like let's not pretend we weren't there.
Let's not rewrite history on that one. Well, also because I think like they were especially good with pop features. Like they seemed like the like go-to. I don't know, like they stayed on topic. Like that's the thing that always bothers me about rap.
Yes.
It's like when they don't stay on topic. So it's like they stayed on topic. They always added something interesting. Like I remember even the Katy Perry
Bon Appetit, baby.
Yes, I liked that. It was like hearing a Max Martin beat with Migos was just so cool. You know what I mean? I was like, I just love that they're throwing that in there.
No, they were cool. They were definitely everybody's go-to for the time. But I feel like Ape Shit. And all they had was Quavo's ad-libs. That was like the right little sprinkle. Mm-hmm. And, they like turned their music video set into like a museum.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That's like so major. Now people like go visit it every year. It's called the Louvre. That's insane.
Their impact.
Did we want to do favorite songs from this album, or did we have anything else we wanted to bring up?
Ape Shit has got to be up there. But then also, like, what? The Gift? I mean, hold on. Homecoming, though? Homecoming Live?
Yes.
Like, the
Insane.
impact of Coachella. First of all, it's, like, a bit hard for me to talk about because I famously did have tickets to see her. And then she was like, oh, I'm pregnant. And I was like, oh.
Oh, no.
Yes. And then the following year when she came back, I was out of the country and it was just a whole mess. And I really do regret that to this day. But, I mean, I still watch the Homecoming documentary on Netflix like frequently. Like
that had to have been the best Coachella headlining performance ever.
Nobody was doing 100%. Name Chella until Beachella.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
like there's a reason for that.
And famously DJ Khaled said it.
Exactly.
I was cracking up listening to it.
How's DJ Khaled been? I haven't heard from him in a minute.
Don't know what he's up to. Bless
He's being
him.
a father.
That's for a different
Assad,
podcast
Assad,
Right.
I was gonna say with is it Beachella or Baychella? Because I always say Baychella.
I would assume it's B
Beachella.
because her name is Beyonce.
Yeah, I don't really know where this Bay came from.
I just
Bay
see
agenda.
BEY and I think Bay, but I don't know.
I mean, I do
makes sense.
think that makes sense, but I guess in the context of Beyonce,
Yeah,
it should be B.
it's true.
But yeah, BEY would be Bay typically.
Okay,
But she
well,
low-key like alternates too, because she says Bay in
Right?
some songs.
She decides how she's feeling,
Right.
and we follow
it's another
suit.
alter ego. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like the fact that you can do the Super Bowl and everyone's like, yeah, you did the Super Bowl the best, like you won the Super Bowl, and then you do Coachella and everyone's like, okay, now you set the bar extremely high for Coachella. That's crazy.
And that's why she is the best performer alive, in my humble opinion.
Truly.
Because literally everything that she does becomes the freaking standard. Now the freaking Coachella headliner has a name. Like, what do you mean? You know,
Even when it doesn't fit at all.
it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I mean, just like the documentary and just like the look behind it, I think is going to be used and referenced for performers for years to come. Because like even me getting ready to perform for like a 400 capacity show, I'm like, I had no dairy, I had no bread, I had no meat, I had no alcohol for 5 months. like I'm watching this documentary, like damn, like that's what it took. Fresh off of a set of twins as well, like craziness. But that work ethic is just, I don't know. It should be the bare. It's what she's known for, but like you would think it's like the bare minimum, but like it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually like above and beyond. Crazy enough.
Yeah, I do love the thought of her like doing her vocal runs on the treadmill. I know that like a lot of singers have adopted that since hearing that that's what Beyonce does, and I think I've talked to a couple of them on this podcast specifically about that. But I'm like, I love that. Like, if you can sing your songs on the treadmill, you can sing them anywhere, and I'm like, that's pretty nice.
It's true, and it's like really fucking hard. But especially when you put that incline on, honey. Oh my god! And you're in 24-hour fitness, disturbing everybody. Like it's not good. But
The concept of belting on the treadmill at 24-hour fitness at like 5
I mean,
p.m.
to be fair, like I used to go to the 24-hour fitness in Hollywood, and like there's scarier things happening in there.
That's so real.
It's like I was the least of anyone's problems.
I need Body Favors treadmill version. Like actually though,
You know,
a live version on the treadmill. Like an artist has to do that at one point.
I think that would actually eat, and famously, Body Favors is one of the easier songs, so like it could be done. That's a good idea. Thank you.
There you go.
But yeah, I really love how she brought like a narrative to it as well. Like she came with a whole storyline. She's like, shout out to the HBCUs, shout out to everybody with a degree. Does Beyonce have a degree? I don't think she has a degree. Does she?
No.
She probably
like
has
an
an
honorary.
honorary.
Yeah, maybe an honorary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some honorary degrees. I mean, it's people teaching Beyonce seminars and course studies. At
No degree, but a
Harvard and
Peabody
shit.
Award.
Period.
And a whole
Good
lot of
enough.
Grammys.
Good enough. Good enough.
The most actually.
Yeah, and like she brought like a whole stage, like a whole generation of people up with her, which I thought was so fire. And as someone who like Coachella was treated like a national holiday in high school, I had been to Coachella many times and I'd never seen anything like that. I wish I had been there. That's like literally my biggest life regret.
She's got to make it up to you. She's got to do it again.
Oh my God. She's
A
actually
personal
fine.
homecoming.
She's
Like-
fine. Like, literally, if she looks at me once, she's made it up to me.
Yeah.
And then there's also the exclusive songs on the soundtrack. Her cover of
Before I
Before I Let Go,
tour, so good.
that just like that album reminds me of 2019 in such a serious and intense way. Like that, like I was driving Uber at that time, and
Wait, I
all
didn't
my
even- I didn't know
passengers,
this.
all my passengers were listening to that album.
So, what are our 3 favorites? Mine are Boss from Everything Is Love. I will say Everything Is
fire.
Love. It has such good songs, but I will say it's like individual songs I go to other projects more, but like as a full album I go to Everything Is Love more. But Boss is my favorite from that. And then Black Parade, which is I think my second favorite Beyonce song of all time. I think that one's absolutely amazing. And then Already.
Sign already. Sign already.
Yes.
Sign already. Oh my god, wait, there's so many
I
good
love that
songs
one.
on there. Yeah, I'd have to say like Ape Shit. I think like the Crazy in Love from Homecoming in Live. Homecoming in Live. The Crazy in Love rendition from Homecoming Live is just like insane. The whole thing is crazy. You can't not listen to the whole thing, which is crazy because it's like very, very long. But then yeah, I also love Already. I love Brown Skin Girl. I love Water. Water was really good. Oh my gosh. I need to actually listen to The Gift again. It's been too long.
No, it's
I know,
time
I was
for
another
a re-listen.
vacation.
I was listening this morning and I was like, oh, like when I was making my favorite songs, and I was like, Already's got to be up there. I was like, I keep forgetting how good that song is.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's
Find Your Way Back. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss Grease.
I'd say Summer for one.
Nice. Yes.
That's a vacation classic, truly.
Yes.
Because of I feel like all of mine are because of the vacation or the tour, if
Yeah.
that speaks to how I like to live my life. But love Brown Skin Girl, love Black Parade, and My Power because the blue. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Heard About Us, Mood Forever, and Spirit.
I forgot about Mood Forever. I need to listen to this album.
It is really. I was re-listening today. I re-listened to everything in the last 2 days, so I'm inundated in my
Yeah,
brain.
anyone listening to this podcast, just do yourself a favor and re-listen to The Gift.
Definitely.
I think being tied to The Lion King, which was like a divisive project, I think made it misunderstood a little bit, or just like it wasn't as like attractive. Like I think it only debuted at number 2, which again, Beyonce standards only debuted at number 2. But yeah, so now we're gonna move into Renaissance, Cowboy Carter, and whatever Act 3 is
Dun,
going
dun,
to be.
dun.
Act 3 bingo card.
Yes. So Rumi, this is your favorite album. Why don't
I'm
you take
actively
it away?
defrosting as we speak. Like this is my
Whoa.
shit. This is where I became a Beyonce stan. Very late, I know.
Really? Welcome to
Yes.
the party.
Renaissance was such a reset, such a great
was.
album, top to back. Like I was listening to it this morning, a couple of times, then in the Cowboy Carter. Like, yeah, I'm excited to talk about it.
She said like we hadn't had like a Beyonce project since Lemonade, and then COVID happens, and then she does the 3 Vogue Brazil covers, and she's like, I feel a renaissance coming.
Like, she's so kind. Like,
Literally chills down my spine. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I mean, again, just furthering her instincts as an artist, just the fact that like Cowboy Carter was made first.
Yes.
And she knew we did not need to cry right now. Like,
Okay.
pandemic's over. I need to dance.
It also
Sorry.
trips me out because like she shaped so much of the music industry with both of these releases. Like she did
Yup.
Renaissance, and then everyone was clamoring to do dance music. Then she does Cowboy Carter. Now everyone's a cowboy. Everyone's so country now. So I'm just like, imagine if she had released Cowboy Carter first.
Yeah.
Like it would have literally changed the whole like landscape of pop music in this so far in this decade. Like we would be like, I can't even imagine that. It's just like it always trips me out thinking
that
about
is crazy to think about. Like, what if we were all like yaga yaga as opposed to like yeehaw right now? You know?
exactly.
I
No,
just
she
think
definitely shifted it.
it's crazy to think how for one, I have to give Drake his lashings just a bit.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I don't know if this is like a Drake friendly podcast, but the fact that he worked on Renaissance with like Heated and then had the nerve to try and drop his little dance thing before Beyonce, I don't know.
He tried it.
There's a reason it did what it did.
He's like, I'll give you the visuals. Like, not those visuals. Maybe we are the visuals, actually. Like maybe that's fine now.
We were the visuals all along.
We were actually the visuals all along, Drake.
What do you guys think the visuals are? Do you think there are any? I mean, there are obviously some, but do you think it was all a tour interlude visualizer type thing? Do you think it's all going to come out as a pack? Like, how tinfoil hat are you guys? 'Cause
I've
I'm
made
up on all the conspiracies that this is going to be a full-length feature film by the end of part 3.
That's my delusional. I've said that on this podcast before. That's my delusional theory. Was I was like, maybe she's saving it all for the end, and then there's gonna be one big thing where it's all. But I mean, I guess in my right mind, I would be like, maybe there just aren't any.
There's got to be.
I feel like
'Cause
she's
I'm
been
like-
working too hard.
Because I'm like, what if she releases like a mega super deluxe? It's all 3 discs, extra songs, all the visuals. Now hold on.
Wait,
I
love
love
the
your
idea
optimism,
of extra songs.
sister. I love your optimism.
Well, because there are so
called
many other
manifestation.
songs too.
Yes.
My thing with the visuals is like when she teased them, it's like, okay, so clearly like there was a lot of budget like that shouldn't have just gone to an interlude. But I do think something happened because I'm just like Beyonce, as we've seen for like from all of the other album rollouts on this podcast, it's like she knows how to roll out an album. And I think that like people clamoring for the visuals for years, I don't feel like that was in the plan. Maybe that was in the plan of just like let's get everyone really, really hyped for the visuals because they're expecting it. But also it's like she does set the trends, and she set the trend to the visual album, and then everyone was doing the visual album, and she goes, you know what? Actually, visuals are overrated. And then like no one makes the music videos anymore. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing, but I'm saying that she knew when the ship had sailed. And I wonder if that's just like her outlook is that like, we don't actually need visuals, or if she's more just like, I really, really want to hype these up for when this does come out. But like, even when she released like the Renaissance film and stuff like that, I was like, oh, like it just feels, it kind of hurts to release that when everyone thinks those are going to be the visuals, to release that instead of like something. But I think if she did release the visuals, it would be an AMC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
I just don't understand, like, they put so much budget into filming all that stuff just for us to see those little 1-second clips of all of them. Like, I don't like, that's not computing to me. Like, it is delusional, but I'm like, there has to be something. There's no way she literally just stood there. They got 10 seconds, like, she just was like,
literally,
like, serve face, and then like, okay, cut, like, let's move on. Like, I don't like, that's like, they got a whole location costume, brought a whole crew of people on set to film, like,
she was there in the city running in that neon green suit. Like,
Oh my God, what was that for?
What's it for? I feel like if there are visuals, there are only 3 people on this planet that know about them. It's
That's
Beyonce
one-
herself, Blue Ivy.
Yeah, wait,
And
it was on
whoever
the
got that
the
flash
visuals
drive.
were on the
Whoever was
stolen
in that van in Atlanta.
Yes.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
Well, there are a bunch of like celebrity cameos too, so it's got to be like the celebrities who are in it. Like,
They've
I
been
don't.
so tight-lipped though. Like, no one said anything.
I know.
I would have been in jail because that NDA, I don't know if I would have been able to keep that secret.
Renaissance was leaking, remember?
Was it?
Didn't bits of Renaissance leak like before it actually came out? Am I crazy? Do I need to research this? Let me
I
fact check.
wasn't
didn't know
there
that was
for
happening.
that. I didn't know
Live
that was happening.
Oh my gosh. Also, what do we think about Cowboy Carter? Because I really, really love that album, but I know it was also divisive. I feel like on release day and like for like the first week it was out, everyone was like, we love Cowboy Carter. Like, Cowboy Carter is like so good. Like, she's done it again. And then I feel like since then, a lot of like people have come out of the woodwork being like, well, she's like catering to some white audiences, or she's trying to hop on the country trend, or
She started it.
I know.
Right.
And then I also think that like, also she like made that before Renaissance, but I think her being an album of the year winner for Cowboy Carter and not for her other works, I feel like that's also made people a little bitter about the album too.
Yeah.
Because like they're like, well, it should have been Lemonade, it should have been self-titled, it should have been Renaissance, which agreed.
Yeah.
But like doesn't mean it shouldn't have been Cowboy Carter. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
I think that put a bit of a target on its back. And yeah, I think Cowboy Carter was always going to be a risky decision just because it's Beyonce making a country album. But especially after Renaissance, which, like, I'll say, like, Renaissance is probably a bit more quote unquote marketable and like easily packageable. It's for the dance floor. There's more songs maybe for the radio, I guess, if you will. And I think that's why it's a lot of people's favorite Beyonce album. I do think Cowboy Carter is Beyonce's best album.
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
Even if it's
Yeah.
not
Oh,
personally
wait.
my favorite, I think it's her best.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm gonna
because
be
it's
so
my
real.
favorite.
That's beautiful. And I think you're totally justified in that. I think it's like definitely in my like top 3 or 4.
I do think it needs to be shorter.
Really, I think it's
That's
one of her
what-
most cohesive.
Yes,
I think it's super cohesive.
I was going to bring up that I have the CD, and
Yeah.
I think this is the perfect version of it. It's missing 5 songs. I think this is fine.
Is one of them the Post Malone song? Because I know you hate Post
No,
Malone.
I know I don't like that
And
song,
that is-
but no,
that
it is
is-
actually on here, and I do get up and skip it when it comes on.
Oh
What
my
5
God.
aren't on the?
You're like, this
CD?
is perfect, Skip.
It's
What else is missing?
it's actually they're not songs that I dislike. I want to caveat with that before I say it, but it's Spaghetti is missing, Ya Ya is missing, which is a very popular song. But it's just like the way that it's very tight and short when you listen to it, and it's like I listened to this before I listened to this. I have it on vinyl too, and I was like, I didn't go looking for what was missing or anything. I was just like, that sounded good, like that was fun, and I like
And
it.
that worked for me.
That is
That
very
was actually
interesting.
nice for me. And like I think this is a good length. I do like the song. I like all the songs that are missing. I just like this is literally a perfect length because it is a little long.
That's my thought is like I don't dislike any of the songs, and I don't think that like with other bloated albums, it's like okay, like these songs don't even fit the vision. They're just like slapped on here. I think with this one, everything makes sense and everything like feels like it should be included. But also I wish it were shorter just because I feel like it's like I have like a shortened version of the album on my Spotify as like a playlist, and I always play that one because I feel like I don't even realize that the time is passing. Like I'm having so much fun.
I'd love to know which songs are on your playlist. Because
Wait,
I probably
I'll tell
could
you.
make a Cowboy Carter playlist that would make it like the best album to me.
Mhm.
But overall, I do think from like a storytelling, a world
Yeah.
building, a narrative, beginning, middle, end, how does an artist construct an album that's rich in like history and culture and education, and it's forward thinking and it references the past and yada yada yada. I definitely think it's like her strongest
Yeah.
effort. However, I personally probably can't listen to the whole thing every day the way I do with Renaissance. But I'd say like the last like 10 songs, I'm rinsing like every day.
Okay, because that was like the transition into Renaissance anyway, right?
I was gonna say this is my
Honestly, yeah.
This is my playlist, by the way.
Okay, like, yeah, like that's kind of
And
the
I
vibe.
changed the order.
Desert Eagle down, Desert Eagle down.
Although I will say some of the transitions don't really work because everything flows into the next one, so it's hard to make some of these work transition.
which I love.
Well, that's when you put the little interludes between them.
Yeah.
Why
but I
isn't
didn't want the
spaghetti
interludes.
here? Where's spaghetti?
I love
Spaghetti erasure
spaghetti.
is crazy.
I love spaghetti. I just like I couldn't figure out where to put it on the album because of the transitions.
Where's Yaya? What's
Yeah,
going on?
wait,
Yaya's
track one.
Yaya's
Yaya's
first.
track
Yaya's
one.
first.
Okay, where's
that-
Pirate?
Again, it's some of these are
Oh.
just like they'll like end on like a
The
really
truth is
weird
coming
note.
out.
Take some of the heat off.
Yeah. Anyway, it's like there are no songs that I'm like that shouldn't have been on Cowboy Carter. It's
Yeah.
more just like if I had to pick one track list that like I just like go through and I like it's not clunky the way I order it because I really wanted to reorder it, but like some of the track I wish there was like an unmixed version where they don't mix into each other for like playlist purposes. Like how Future Nostalgia, the Club Future Nostalgia, how she had like a mixed version and an unmixed version. I
Oh
love
wow,
that
that's cool.
because I
didn't know
love
that.
when the songs bleed into each other, but at the same time, sometimes when I just want to listen to a song on its own, it like feels like it kind of like abruptly ends, and it feels kind of
Yeah.
One thing I love and I feel like we should talk about, and my favorite aspect of like the Renaissance trilogy is just how Beyonce is so intentionally reclaiming 3 different genres
Mm.
and 3 genres that are based in blackness and were essentially created by black people. Like we got dance hall, country, and allegedly rock. And you know, the industry loves to forget and loves to erase the foundings of each of these genres, but her whole thing is like, yeah, no, we're gonna remind you who made these different genres and include the the founding members of all of that to elevate both the founding and like the up and comers, which I think is beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's a part of what made like Cowboy Carter so beautiful. It's like I don't see it as her like what did you say that people said that she was like appeasing like the white audience or like I guess in the simplest sense.
Yeah, I feel like it's the opposite.
See it like that. I think it's the opposite. I think it's like her kind of like almost paying respect, but also just like showing how I don't know, they've all kind of paved their way in this genre. And I do think, I mean, to a certain degree, the people she had on are people who respect country's origins and like where it comes from. And
yes, to a certain degree, because we did mention Post Malone.
To a certain degree, she was picky with her features.
I was going to say, I don't think Post Malone respects any genre. Love his music.
I don't know where that came from. Like, what's the connection?
I do wonder where
I think he's had a very country time in his life.
He was making a country album. He was shaking hands with everyone in Nashville, and I think Beyonce just happened to be in Nashville at the time. Because, like, keep in mind, like, she probably went to, like, Nashville headquarters, as though it's, like, one company. She probably went to, like...
Nashville Inc.
No,
sat
she
down
went
with the president of Nashville and said, I'm going to make history.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what she did.
She went to Big Country, and she was like, here, I want all your best country songs so I can like pick and choose and rearrange and then put my story over them and you know have
they
them.
Said here's White Iverson.
Yeah. They said, well, we got this really cool guy, Post Malone now. You ever heard of him? But I do think he was probably making music in country circles when this, well, no, because this was made before
was this, like,
Renaissance.
Was she at the scene of the crime?
She started it.
She said Beyonce. She said Post
girl.
Malone, you should really go into country. You're really good at this.
You need to do country, baby. What are you doing over here?
You are the country
he comes
baby.
On, he's like, everyone hated me for doing country, but Beyonce told me to.
That's probably what happened.
If Beyonce told me to do something and then everyone hated me for it,
I'd be like, well,
I would be like, well,
me.
it's okay. Beyonce doesn't hate me for it, so it's fine.
Exactly.
I guess it depends on what the thing is, but yes. But yeah.
I want to know what everyone thinks about Church Girl.
It's my favorite song on Renaissance.
I say justice for Church Girl. It's a lot of people's least favorite songs. I feel like if you have no connection to the church or growing up in the church, maybe it doesn't hit as hard.
Is that you? Well, I have no connection growing up in the church, but wait, is it your least favorite Renaissance song?
It's not my least favorite, but it's definitely not in the top 12.
I would probably have to say the same. But
in the top 12. Wait, how many songs
in the
are
top
there?
12, and there's literally only 16.
16. Okay.
No, I do agree with that. It has grown on me a lot, and I also think it's a very important song because I do think it's one that like people will look at it like at face value and write it off as this or that or disrespectful or they don't get it or they don't know what she's addressing, and I think it like plays into the meaning of like the album, just like wanting to find that free spirit coming from a place of like restraint and, you know, people casting such a limited worldview on who you're allowed to be as a woman or as a woman of God or as a black woman or as a pop woman, like a woman in pop music. Like I think once I really sat down with it, I appreciated it a lot more. Sonically, it's not in my top 12, but I do love it. And if it comes on, I'm going to turn up.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of the criticisms of the song are like exactly the point of the song. I think
exactly.
I was on Reddit like looking up what everyone says their least favorite song is from every album. And Church Girl was a lot of people because they're like, I just don't get it. How are you going to say you're religious and then say drop it like a thotty? I'm like, that is like the exact point of the song.
Yeah,
Right.
Literally.
We're thinking too literally here.
Yeah.
Like,
That's crazy. It's so interesting how the message can go right over.
Yeah, it's like you're hearing it. But
That happens a lot with Beyonce. unfortunately.
Yeah, it's like the thing with like when a woman tells a joke and people are like, they don't think that she's joking because they don't think a woman's like smart enough to make a joke. It's like they don't think Beyonce is smart enough to be like making a point in the song. They're just like, church girl, but you're dropping it like a thotty.
And that's all she does is make commentary. So like,
yeah,
what did you expect? Also, Rumi, it seems like the consensus agrees with you because it is the 13th most streamed song from that album on Spotify. So literally not in the top 12.
People, what could I say? What could I say?
That's crazy.
Funny.
I go, is it the least streamed song? And I go, it is literally the 13th most streamed.
What's the least streamed?
Yeah.
It's
I
not
feel like it's all
big.
up in your mind.
Yeah, all up in your mind.
People also hate that song.
Justice for All Up in Your Mind.
It's a good song.
She's edgy.
She's edgy. She's like all like I just don't know if she's like the best on Renaissance though.
I think if we're saying not the best on Renaissance, and this is not because it's bad, but it's just because it's a bit, it's her at her most millennial. It might be Cuff It. I like Cuff It. I love it.
You know
But
what? I heard it a lot on the radio and it got overplayed for me.
This album pushed everything, and Cuff It was like really sweet in comparison to me. I love Cuff It, but
the Wetter remix.
Oh,
I don't like the remix.
Oh,
No shade.
it's getting problematic up in here.
I think the Wetter remix gives millennial.
I love.
I get that too. I get that argument as well. I get that.
But I'm also just like, I'm letting her live her millennial
true
Gen X customer life. Like, hello.
It's true. It's true.
So we talked about how it was like the Britney and Christina thing with like Beyonce and Rihanna for the longest time when they were both kind of doing the same thing, or not even the same thing. They were compared, I think, because they were
of
quote
the Rock
unquote
Nation connection.
Yeah, I think they were compared quote unquote based on their similarities, even though I don't think they're similar at all. But I think that now she is most compared with Taylor Swift and compared on how different they are. And I do think that they embody two completely different ways that an artist can be like the biggest artist in the world. And they just have completely different approaches and strategies. Like their approach with their fans or their approach to putting out new music. And like they are kind of touted as like the two pop stars who are like at the most peak in their game, even though they have been around for so long and like on paper shouldn't be in their peak. I wonder, do you guys agree with the take of that Beyonce is currently in her peak? Or if she was in her peak, where was that for you? And I don't mean artistically, just like commercially.
I guess I feel like a peak is something you can only know in retrospect. Like we will only know a peak once she eventually falls off, which
she hasn't. It's all been uphill.
I don't see that coming anytime soon.
It's true. I do think Lemonade kind of like, if I had to pick, like if time stopped tomorrow and we just didn't know the end, I would probably pick Lemonade.
Yeah,
but
I guess that's the last time where it was like everyone. I guess it's
Commercial,
like that's the last time that everyone was like, "Yeah, this is like the greatest shit ever made." Because like when Renaissance came out, it is very commercial friendly, but I remember people were really shitting on Renaissance. Like people were like, "What the fuck?"
Really, guys? I live in an echo chamber.
I was gonna say.
Also, I looked it up.
I moderate an echo chamber.
I looked it up and it did get leaked. Also, I do remember that happening, and I remember people being like, "Real fans will not stream the leaks." And I was like,
crazy. I'm the realist thing because I didn't even know it was happening.
Stand card not revoked.
Yeah, I don't know what I would consider a peak. I think that she's performing differently than she used to, but I'm not even gonna say that that's like bad because she's still like, you know, so magnetic. Even if she like dances less or whatever it may be, like she still knows how to deliver like a captivating show. I think creatively she feels more at peak than ever.
Yes,
I feel like she has not run out of juice. I think that she still has a lot to say, and is just feeling free to do whatever. And that's like really exciting for me to watch.
Is this a safe space to say that when I listen back to Self-Titled that I kind of think, compared to like what she's brought out since Self-Titled, that it's a little lackluster, like in comparison. Like all the songs hit still, but I just think that like in terms of like her vision, like if she had to do Self-Titled again today, I feel like it would be 5
I
times
think
better.
that's totally fair to say, because
Yeah.
that's how I feel. Like, when I was listening to Renaissance, I was like, this shit is in different areas.
Yeah.
And, like, at the time, that's what self-titled was. And that's just,
Yeah.
you know, the song still hit, but, like, she's shown us that she's capable of more 10 times over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's even crazier.
And it's like the place that all these albums fall in her life, I feel like is so important. Like the context in which like they all exist, you know, like because it's like as I said before, it's like she gets married, she releases an album full of wedding songs, then she has the baby, then she releases Beyoncé, which is very like, I'm sexy as fuck and I'm obsessed with my husband. And then the incident occurs, and then she releases another album that's like, actually, I'm gonna kill him.
I'm actually not obsessed with my husband.
And then like, and then COVID happens, and she like, her brain is rewired musically, and that's when we get this like 3-act project. If she had to redo self-titled, it's like it wouldn't even be that, because she's a different artist than she was when self-titled came out. I also wonder like how much of our like Beyonce loving echo chamber exists, because anytime you see people like randos discussing Cowboy Carter online, they're always like, who even listened to that? Me.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm also like,
The streams and the charts don't lie.
I don't know
Yeah.
where that is happening. I
Exactly.
just don't
No,
know.
I
who
literally,
these
I was
people
at
are.
Party City right before Party City was closing down.
Rest in
And the
peace.
people doing the balloons behind the counter were having a conversation. This was right after the Grammys. And she's like, I can't believe Billie Eilish lost to Beyonce. And they were like actually like fuming, raging mad, and being like, who listened to that? Like, oh my. And I was like, I was taking everything in me not to like chime in. I'm like a Karen on the other side. I'm like, actually, I listened to that album. And like,
I think it'd be the opposite of a
really
Karen.
That's like the Stan Twitter jumping out.
Yeah.
I was like making a nasty face. I'm like, I'm glad this place is shutting down.
This is why y'all are getting shut down. Okay, wait. So if Act 3 isn't rock, what do we think Act 3 will be?
I don't think I've allowed myself to
Yeah.
think that way.
I don't dare to consider other
I
options.
think it has to be like it's gonna be like different varieties of rock. Like I think it's gonna be more like a
Yeah.
Tina Turner, Little Richard kind of style of rock than like say the Beatles.
Yeah,
I feel like
think
she's gonna do
but-
some 80s rock there too. And if she does,
Oh my God,
I want her
you're
to bring
right.
Miley back.
It's gotta get Princey. It's gotta get Princey.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are expecting things that I don't think they should be expecting from this
Like
album.
what?
Like, okay, Megan Thee Stallion, for example, has done 2 collaborations now with Spirit Box, which is like a really great modern metal band. And anytime like Courtney LaPlante is brought up, people are like, oh, I really hope she's involved. I'm just like, I don't know if that's really the direction Beyonce, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I would love to see that, but I don't know if like that's really the direction that she would take that in, because I feel like it's similar to when if you heard that Beyonce is releasing a country album, you probably would have one expectation of it. Cowboy Carter would break all of those expectations that you have of it. So
Except
I think
for Texas Hold'em.
we don't talk about Texas. and then I feel like her rock album is also going to do that. Like it's not gonna be it's not gonna be anything that we're expecting.
I'm imagining that it'll be a rock album, not chronologically like through the history of rock, but I feel like it will definitely touch on different kinds of rock.
Like I guarantee there will be funk music on it,
Yeah, for sure.
and I need that.
No, it's
Was-
just gonna get funky.
Was Act 3 really made as like the last act? Was that always intended to be the
I
final?
believe so. I believe
We
she
won't
made them all
know.
like with the intention of like
The
she
surprise
says
is
that
there's
they're
4 acts.
Imagine.
it's like she's confirmed that all of them are complete, correct? Well, not complete, but complete in
The vision.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So I would presume that okay, and it's like also being a Beyonce fan is starting to feel like being a Taylor Swift fan at some level, like because especially with the lack of visuals where we're like having to entertain ourselves by being like, oh look, it says Betty Black on the stage right there. She's gonna bring that back. Like it's like all these we're like picking into these like really minute details, and it's like, but at the same time, I'm like, why would she be planning all these Easter eggs if it's not gonna be a rock album?
and
know.
a pattern of like like the thing with Renaissance where she kind of teased that word months before, or like was
Yeah.
it years before it came out?
Maybe, yeah. I guess it was.
I guess it was. Yeah, I think
Did she tease Cowboy Carter? Like the title?
I don't.
I
don't think
remember
so.
everybody thought it was gonna be called Rodeo.
Yes, I know that now people will bring up like the fact that the Renaissance stage, like it was shaped like a banjo, and I'm like, I don't know if that was intentional.
know
But
about
people
that.
do say that, and then I don't remember what the stage for the Cowboy Carter tour was.
They did a lot of
But-
cherries. That could be a thing, you know? Black cherry,
Hold on,
Black Betty.
hold on.
Okay.
No.
I'm finding it.
We're gonna come back to this
Control
when you're
it, control
100% right. Everything you say is gonna be exactly how it goes. Are we ready to do our favorite songs from these albums?
Yes, so.
Are we?
I'm scared.
Yeah. A lot of people here should be scared.
I'll start by saying Church Girl is one of my 3.
Okay.
Stand in
is.
that.
And
It
I
is.
respect it.
I respect that.
And my
Someone's
other-
got to defend her.
And my other one, Mila will hate, is Levi's Jeans.
Okay.
I just love that. I know my taste is like all over the place with these. And then my other one is Two Most Wanted,
Okay.
which hopefully
I'll
I want you
be
guys
your
back.
shotgun.
I've never listened to that song and not shed tears.
It's
That's
so
true.
good.
That's true. That one
And
makes me
it's
feel
so-
like Thelma and Lee's were driving off the cliff together.
Mhm.
I love that they performed it live together too. Like that actually, like when I saw that, like my heart started racing a little bit.
Yeah, and like Miley, I know that like Beyonce has like always been like huge for her. So for her to have like that sapphic song with Beyonce that she
The
wrote
straightest
for
woman on earth.
Beyonce, literally, I'm like Miley must have been loving that. So I feel like she was doing that. She was like, you know what? I'm gonna believe that Beyonce is singing about me and about our love.
There are ride or dies.
Yes.
So I'd say my first one is Cozy Alien Superstar Cuff It Energy.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Okay.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm familiar with that song.
That's
3 minutes.
my first. My second is Riverdance Two Hands to Tyrant. And then my third, Amen.
I love
Okay.
that. I love
Yeah.
this.
Bring me to church a little
yeah.
bit. I love her
That's
like
so well rounded.
yeah.
Great.
I love the like the run. Like you
They're
were
all
like,
one
this
song to
is-
me.
This is the
That's
run.
true.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
when I stream it, like it's always that block because the
Mhm.
transitions are just so fucking peak.
Mm.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
hard to turn them off. It's
Yeah,
so hard to turn off
literally.
Renaissance. Like literally you start that shit at the beginning before you know it, you've listened to the entire like hour.
Mhm.
Right.
I think America Has a Problem is the best song I've ever heard in my life. But Virgo's Groove is a top 3 Beyonce song for me. It's
Some of her
in
best
neg-
actually.
It's one of her best. It's sitting up next to Me, Myself, and I, like I mentioned earlier. I mean, it's probably number 1. I think the fact that it's got Virgo in the title, it feels like quintessential Beyonce to me, Virgo's Groove. But then Desert Eagle, she's so nasty. She's so nasty. I love Desert Eagle. I love Riverdance. I love Sweet Honey Buckin'. Like,
Buckin'.
come
Buckin'.
on. Whoa. No, she tore. I really love the entire back half of Cowboy Carter. I love the first half, but that feels like the In Your Feelings half to me. And the back half of Cowboy Carter is just like, we are on a bull right now.
Yes. And that's why it's rodeo.
Exactly.
Classic Off the Sofa.
Yes. Yes.
Anywhere, anytime, put it on. Heated is probably my favorite song on the album.
Good.
Then Heated is the song that like anytime I'm like, oh, I want to listen to Heated, I'll pull up the album, and next thing I know, I've also listened to Thick. I've also listened to All Up in Your Mind. I've also listened to America Has a Problem.
That
Virgo's
last
Groove,
minute
of
of Heated.
course.
Sorry.
Like
Yummy,
the
yummy,
whole
yummy,
every
yummy,
second
Heated.
of Heated, like oh my god, it's so insane.
Possession, actually.
And that's like
Yeah.
and it's like I start it back over once it ends, run it back, and run it back one more time and again. And then Two Most Wanted is definitely my favorite from Cowboy Carter. Tyrant, classic. Bodyguard. I love the first like 5 tracks on Cowboy Carter, like Blackbird. Also another song that I have never listened to without crying. I don't think ever. I don't think I've
Her
ever not
version's
shed
so
tears.
sweet. I mean,
It is so insanely good.
it's like it's so hard to cover a song like that and like Jolene and like have
Yes.
a reason why someone would like listen to your version as opposed to the original, bring back covers. Bring back releasing a cover as a single, because like, look, I mean, like with like Fast Car with the Luke Combs version, I just love the idea of like Aretha. That's what she did. That's what Tina did. Like, I love the idea of like taking a song that someone, either taking a song that like isn't super well known, or taking a song that like needs to come back and being like, people need to remember this.
When the first single from Act 3 is a cover of a rock standard.
And I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna know. I'm like, wow, Beyonce wrote this amazing song.
Yes. Any closing statements on Beyonce and her career?
Closing statement: Beyonce is the best performer alive. She's the most impactful, culturally relevant phenomena that we will likely see in our lifetime. I'm a fan of many people. I am a stan only of Beyonce.
Period.
The end.
My favorite. I'll wrap up the podcast actually with a quote. My favorite quote is, "You are Beyonce. Thank you."
Thank you. And she was right. She was 200%
She was like,
right.
"Wow, you're right. That's a huge compliment. Thank you."
Oh my God, can you imagine someone calling you Beyonce?
I would.
My day would be made.
Yes. Well, thank you so much to everyone for being on the podcast, Mila, Rumi, and Jay.
If you're a fan of pop music and you're not streaming Boyfriend Forever, like, you're only harming yourself. And thank you to Noah for the theme music, obviously. And thank you to Chris for editing this episode. Also, this podcast and all of us here at Popheads are in support of the fight for trans rights. So you can click on the links in the episode description if you're interested in donating or learning more. That would be much, much, much appreciated. And we'll see you in the next one.